Hello, what's up, everybody?
What's up, buddy?
I
I love
figured
the
it would
hat.
just go straight to my picture. I don't know why it went straight to my logo like that.
Mine at first was like my eyeball on the screen. It was weird.
Yeah, it does crazy things. I know we got the Fish Talk family. I see them rolling through already, y'all. This podcast, I'm gonna call it. We can call it a talk cast. This talk cast right here is all about fish talk, y'all.
That's
I
right.
know Steve is all about supporting that. I'm all about supporting it. So let's go, baby.
Heck yeah. I mean, that's how I got started on here, Crappie, just going and talking to other people that are fishing on this platform and getting to know them and trying to pull them all into a community. And it's really been amazing, right? And you've done the same thing. You've like really built an awesome community around your
Kind of
hobby,
the backstory, like Steve and I don't remember how many months ago it was. It was a while back when I ran across Steve's live. And honestly, at that time, he and I were like back and forth competing for followers, y'all. It was like a constant battle between me and Steve. And it was a competition, but a healthy competition.
That's
And
right.
that's where me and Steve kind of bonded to begin with. So it's really cool. The fish talk thing for me has been crazy. I mean, Carrie and I, my wife, her name's Carrie. We bought this place in 2020, I believe. And we had been looking at places for probably over a year trying to find something. And we finally found this house, and it was like, she knew it and I knew it instantly. I was like, this is it. So we literally, before we had drove off of here, called the realtor and told him to call and make an offer. And we knew this place was that special, and it really is. It's at the end of a road. There's no traffic. This water you see behind me is actually like a slough. A lot of people think it's the main river, but the main river actually runs past here. So when I have no tug traffic, I have nothing like that. Matthew, let's go, buddy. Amanda, let's go. But
No traffic and no internet. But you have internet now, baby. That's Starlink.
the internet story is a sad one, and that's the thing about Fish Talk. When I started it, my whole goal was to bring positivity to anybody and everybody's people at home that can't get out and fish. Well, the internet thing, dude, made it hard for me to do that. I'll be honest. And there was like 3 weeks that I didn't even get on here. And it was because I didn't feel like I could bring the positive vibes that I needed for everybody out there. You know what I mean?
I do know exactly what you
see
mean.
that little bitty red dot. When you see it 100 million times up there, eventually it gets into your mind, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I've lost internet again."
Yeah, that's terrible. I felt so bad for you when you had that going on. I just, it was so weird how you had like really good internet, and then one day the cable company is like, "No, Guru ain't getting internet anymore. We're cutting him off."
It was crazy. They figured out that I was using too much of their bandwidth, and when they figured that out, it was like we're putting the brakes on him. And I bet you I caught him 80. When I say 80 times, I literally caught him that many times.
I am sure you did.
There was no talking them out of it. It was like I finally got to the point to where it was like, okay, we're doing this Starlink thing. Well, then I was super nervous, y'all, because I took down a tree that's basically growing through my house just to try this. I mean, how crazy is that? My wife, Carrie's like, I'm thinking, does she think I've lost my mind? What is she thinking right now if I'm cutting this tree down just so we can get internet?
Yeah. Well, my wife thinks I'm crazy too. Welcome to the club.
Exactly. But thank God it worked. So far, it has been awesome. I think I've done like 2 or 3 streams, maybe 4. And everybody's saying now that they can see me in 1080p, like the picture.
Yeah. No, I can see you great. Yeah, it's been awesome. Like the couple times that I've been on your live, it's been perfect.
And I've actually noticed just the fact that it's in the clear image, it pushes the stream more because of that.
Does. Yep. The better the quality of your video is, the more they push it out for sure. Like I can tell
about that, Duggar.
When I'm live streaming, if I'm on the light. So if it's like a low light type deal, like if I'm at night, maybe on the boat or something like that, it doesn't push the stream as well as like during the daytime, and it's nice and bright and the video quality is good. So there's definitely a lot to that.
Speaking of that, I have a question for you. Do you ever have times, I know you've got that Bimini top, where do you have an iPhone?
No, I have an Android.
That might be the difference. When my phone gets in the sunlight, it is almost impossible to see the comments. I have ran through every setting. I've watched 10 YouTube videos. I cannot figure it out, bro. And it's like,
wait for mine.
It drives
when it's in the sun, I can't see it. I don't know that it's the phone, Guru. It could be our age.
That's possible too. It's very possible that it's the age. That is for sure, without a doubt. The age could be it. But yeah, I was texting your wife, or not texting her, but I was on the Discord talking to her yesterday. And that's another question I have for Steve is, how big is Heather behind the scenes? How big is Heather?
Guru, I have two girls working in the office here for me, Heather and her sister. So like all the stuff that we're doing besides me live streaming, all the internet sales, the agency stuff that I've been talking to people about, all the other social medias, basically besides TikTok, they do all of that stuff. So like I have really 2 full-time employees that are facilitating me to be able to do this and to run our business.
Yeah. It's hard when you're fishing all the time to.
Well, I can't do it. Like I can do this.
Time to do it.
I can't do all the other things.
I'll find myself getting up at 4:30 in the morning sometimes just to try to make content, and I'm trying to get a video pushed out. I'm like, this is a lot for one person. And
I tell you what I've gotten good at. I've gotten good at just freaking winging it and putting the phone in my face and be like, hi guys, this is what we're doing today, and blah, 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 blah. Just posting the video.
People love that.
They actually do. Those videos get pushed out probably more than like the videos with the actual fishing content in it, which is so weird to me. But I think that's part of the algorithm with TikTok. TikTok wants to see your face.
They want your face in the camera.
They do. So if you make videos, Guru, and you put your face and you have the same background every single time, eventually they're going to push those videos out because they begin to trust your content. It's all the same. And that really makes TikTok push your content.
That's another key, y'all. Steve's telling y'all right now, because I know there's a lot of people on here that's wondering about fish talk, and a lot of people that are nervous about going live. Not necessarily just fish talk. There's all kinds of things, but just try it. The first time you do it is going to be extremely intimidating. You're going to be nervous. You're not going to be used to looking at the screen and see it unless you FaceTime a lot or something, but it's still going to be different than FaceTiming, because when you're FaceTiming, you're talking to your buddy. When you get on here, try to be yourself, try to look at the screen, talk to everybody. The majority of people are cool, and then some are just asshole trolls, and they just make the content better. That's what I say.
We don't even play around over here anymore, Guru. We block them all.
Some of them are funny. If they're funny,
some of them are. I just got so tired of having trolls and bots and all that stuff. We just block them all. I don't even want to deal with it. I think it takes away from the live stream a little bit. Occasionally, so here's what we do. If there's a troll and they actually bring something, right? Most of them just say like 2 words, like, you're dumb.
You're dumb.
And like, no. You don't have anything intelligent to say. If you troll the proper way, right? Like I can go in someone's live stream and make little one-liners, and actually people will laugh at it. Right. But
and
you come in and you
entertaining.
say like, you're this sucks. Like,
This,
good job, guy. Like, way to use your brain. I'm glad you got 2 words out.
and their username is I'm a big dummy, and they got 2 followers. It's like, how do I even say I'm a big dummy? That's what you want me to say over and over. I'm a big dummy just said that I'm stupid.
That's it. I'm stupid. Well, you got me there, my guy.
It's
I
crazy.
never claimed to be the smartest, the sharpest tool in the shed, but here I am.
That's what I told them too. Like, and I know some of my family's on here. The Real Deal mods are awesome, and I think he has probably some of the best mods. My mods are awesome too, but to me, your mods are probably the best. I don't know. They have a great strategy of how to pump the live, of how to do everything that mods do. A lot of people don't realize how big mods are. I didn't realize that. When I first started, I just, whoever, you want to be a mod? Sure, I'll let you be a mod.
Well, I did that a little bit too. I was fortunate enough in the beginning to get some really good moderators, like from the very beginning. Some of the first people that came in my live streams, Duggar, Beth, Rode, Blue Eyes, I'm sure I'm missing some, but those people really,
they're still with you.
They're still here, right? And they really helped me build this account because they were moderating when I was like fishing and stuff like that. And it was never like as big as it is now.
Yeah.
Right?
When you got Starlink, which I knew when you got Starlink, it was going to explode. I already knew that because I was like, when Steve gets this, he's going to the moon with this thing. Yeah. And it was great to see. Now, I'll say this about Starlink. I'm confused because I thought Kissimmee was saying that like he don't have data limits. Which I may have that wrong because that came from one of his mods. I want to hear Kissimmee say it himself, but his is on his boat.
Right.
How would he have it on his boat but not have data caps?
That I don't know, but I think that maybe he has just the mobile version, like the RV version. And that'll actually work. That'll work for you. I was concerned about that going out into the Gulf. I'm like, if I get the mobile version and then, inland roaming data, that's right. It's not the same thing that I'm doing. I'm actually on the marine version or whatever. So it's set price per month. I get 50 gigabytes. And then if I go over that,
I thought that was all that was available.
No, there's definitely more available than that. They have different packages. Like, I think in your case, you could probably do like the mobile RV version. And I actually know some guys that have done it offshore, but I was concerned about that working. I'm like, I don't want to put all this money into something and then I don't have the right product.
It would be huge for my live stream because when you leave this house, I would say 95% of the places I fish are not fishable. You cannot fish them.
So tell me this, do you have, so they make like a backpack version, right? Like Linster just said. They make an actual backpack version. It'll plug into an inverter and you can take it around hooks. Wait, what the heck is this? CJ. Hooked on, not hooked.
Hooked up with CJ. What is it?
Hooked up with CJ. That's right. So he got that version, and he used it down in the Everglades when he was fishing down there, or when he was python hunting, right? And it worked okay, but there were definitely times when I was in his live stream where it lagged a lot. So I don't know. It did not work well in the Everglades. So that's like you're taking a risk. You buy it, and then it doesn't work for you. Then you just spend all this money on something that doesn't work.
And that's where I'm at right now because I just spent a ton. We had 7 trees cut down. So I spent a ton of money on that, of course. And then I've got the Starlink here. But we're building the channel, and it's been going good since. Yeah. So it would be great if we could get Starlink on the boat. Like you said, fall's getting here, and that's when the fishing gets good. So it would be awesome if we're able to actually fish and take people to some of these places where there is a creek that is actually one creek down from me that is famous for crappie, but I can't even go. I can't even go into that creek.
Famous fisherman, what's up, buddy?
And it's a giant creek. It goes back like 2 miles. Famous fisherman, what's up, brother? I saw he was on this morning, getting after the bass.
I actually got to meet him at Livestream briefly, or at iCast, so that was pretty cool.
At iCast.
Yeah.
That's kind of, see, if everything goes good, I would love to. iCast. I'd love to be able to come with Kyle. Kyle is ATX Lure Company. I'm going to give a quick shout out to my boy Kyle from ATX Lure Company. These are the plastics I use, y'all. They are much better than the big brands you get at Walmart that everybody uses. Like this is a muddy water kit. These things are much more durable. You can catch. I've caught 20-something fish off of one of these things. And you get the ones at Walmart.
ATX Lure.
ATX Lure Company.
Are they on? They have a website. They're on all the.
They're on. He's actually on here. You can follow him on TikTok. He's on all the social medias. He's on IG, and then he has his own website. You can also buy any of the products right on my your profile's up there now, but when my profile's on the screen. Right. You can buy any of them straight through there.
They are in your TikTok shop, basically, or your showcase. Yeah. You can go just click right on it. And, perfect. That's awesome.
Which the showcase thing is starting to work out a little better. I feel like, have you noticed some of the fish talks, the messages they've been sending about the TikTok shop lately and how to do the videos and all that for some of that stuff?
I have, and the TikTok shop is so frustrating for me.
It was me too.
I get violated almost every single time I put something up. So oh yeah, like every time. And so as soon as my face isn't on the camera anymore or the product isn't right here, I get a violation.
There's Kyle, ATX Lure. I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's ATX Lure Company just come through the chat, y'all. He's in there right now. But I can't believe you get violated. Are you talking about getting violated when you're live?
Yeah, yeah.
No, I'm the same way. I cannot hardly put anything on there when I'm live, or I'll get a restriction within minutes. The only thing I can do is I have to sit down like me and you were talking, and I have to sit here and say TikTok shop.
That's the only way that I don't get violated. However, yesterday I was live streaming for probably 45 minutes with these new sunglasses that I have, a sunglass company that's basically sponsoring me or an affiliate of mine now.
I'm looking for some sunglasses too, by the way.
They're in my showcase. Check them out. Zenotic. It's they're polarized, great glasses. I've been wearing them for a while. Some of my other followers, I know Lidster. I think you know him. He wears them every day. They're like $20 or $30, right? Yeah. You're not spending $300 on a pair of sunglasses that I'm just going to drop in the freaking water anyway. And right now there's a $5 coupon. So
I definitely need to check it out and see. And they sell them on here, right?
Yeah, they're in my TikTok shop. Yep.
For me as a creator too, like I am more interested in things that people actually sell on Fish Talk or on TikTok, y'all, because it's easier for me to push it out to everybody like that.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to do the codes and all, and that's fine. But if you do the codes, I would suggest try to put it on TikTok, and the reason being, for creators like me, it actually does help me to sell your product. But
it makes it a lot easier when I can just go click on that product and add it to my showcase, and bam, it's right there. All you got to do is click on the showcase and you see all the products.
But the videos, like, you know how you make a video and add a link, I think I have figured out a couple tricks for that, and if you'll message me about it, I'll let you know about it. Okay. I'm still testing it out right now, but hopefully in the next month I'll know for sure if it's working or not. So, what's up, HGJ? What's up, brother? Y'all, this is Steve. If y'all don't know Steve, I know we got a lot of my people in here and a lot of his. Please pick him up. Give my man a follow.
Oh, the same guys. If you guys are not following Crappie Guru, go pick him up. He fishes live on the Warrior River in Alabama. Great crappie fisherman, a good family guy, has an amazing piece of property there on the river that I'm a little bit jealous of.
Before I forget to do this, I am going to shout out my wife too, y'all. My wife is absolutely amazing. She's really not a big fan of necessarily being on the screen a lot, but I have two boys. We live 50 minutes from here. I don't live here full time, and they go to school 50 minutes away from here.
Right.
So she allows me to come out here, do what I do here, and doing all that through the internet stuff. I thought she may kill me, but she is super supportive of me, and I could not ask for a better significant other. Mrs. Guru, let's go.
Yes.
Let's go, Mama Guru. Well, we got Mama Real Deal over here, and it's the same thing. Like, without her,
with the panther paws,
there's no way that this would be what it is. You know, there has to be some support on the back end. Otherwise, it just doesn't work out.
I think it's a good idea with her doing the agency thing. She's the perfect person for that. You know, especially, I know y'all get super busy during fishing season.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure Fish Talk has really boosted you getting business all the time. But
well, it's funny. I mean, I doubt that I ran more trips this year than I did last year or the year before or the year before. It's just maybe the clientele has changed a little bit, but we've always been really busy. So TikTok has definitely brought, I guess, I don't know, more people see my business, but I can only be so busy.
Yes.
I have 2 boats. So like if both boats are booked all the time,
that's a lot of people.
Yeah, and it's always been that way. Like, we've been in business almost 10 years. We've been successful. Like, you don't stay in business as a fisherman, as a charter fisherman for 10 years unless you're busy.
Yeah.
So we've always been that. This is just another way, honestly, to get our business out there. We used to spend a lot of money on marketing, you know, and now I just spend my time doing it.
Yeah. You're marketing as you work a lot of the time.
Right. Yep. So that's really the difference.
I know you said you started 10 years ago. So what pushed you into actually saying, okay, I'm going to do this. We're going to do this. What got you to that point?
We had talked about it for several years before we did it. Right. So, I was offered a boat. Someone was going to sell me their boat. It was the Snoopy 2. It was in Clearwater Marina. And the guy was like, I'll let you run the boat. You can make payments on it and you can buy it from me. He wanted to get out of the fishing industry. He went and got a job as a bus driver. And I wasn't quite ready. And the guy that I was working for at the time was like, no, I want you to stay here and I'll sell you this boat in a couple of years. Right. Yeah. So I stayed with the company I was at. I was like, you know, I have it pretty good here. This is going to work out. I like this boat better. And in hindsight, I'm glad I didn't buy that other boat. The thing needed $200,000 worth of shit done to it. Right. So, so I stayed on that boat for a couple of years, and here's where the story gets good. So I was working, I had a coworker, my buddy Tucker at the time. We worked together. He worked on the boat next to me, the Gulfstream, and I worked on the Wizard. That's how I got the name Captain Potter, Harry Potter, because I was the captain of the Wizard for about 5 years. That's not my real name. That's my grandma's maiden name, but Potter is because of Harry Potter.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah, they were like I had like whole areas of the Gulf of Mexico named after me from all the fishermen. They're like, that's the Potter's Paradise and Potter's Peaks and Potter's Humps and Potter's Hole, and it's pretty crazy when you fish that much. Like they're like, oh, we got to go out to Potter's Paradise and get them out there.
Yeah.
That's where
They name holes after. It happens here. There are several guys that fish out here. You know that they're not live on. I'm the only one that goes live, but they have holes out here that they'll name after me from seeing me fish on here or whatever. And then I also have holes on my plotter named after them because I've seen them fishing there. So it's like,
Absolutely.
it's crazy, but I did not realize the whole Potter name came from there. But continue with your story. That's a super cool thing.
Oh yeah. So we were working together. I'd known my friend Tucker for a long time at this point. I was actually his deckhand at one time, and I got so we wanted to go to opening day at Tropicana Field and go watch the Rays, right? So the problem with that is we both worked for the same company, so they would never let us have time off together. And we're like BFFs, you know, we're like bromancing.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, we're gonna make. It probably wasn't right what we did, but we did it anyway. So this is what happened. We put fake trips in the calendar.
Uh-huh.
We made up people. So that's how we blocked the afternoon off, right?
Yeah.
So we both fished that morning. We both reached half days that morning. We got off the boat. We cleaned all our fish and cleaned our stuff up, and we went to the Rays game. Now there were fake trips on the book, and we were supposed to go back out fishing, but we were like, oh, they didn't show up.
Yeah.
Right.
Nobody was there.
Right. So we got in a little bit of trouble for that.
Yeah.
They were pressed about it. So the next day we had a company meeting.
Yeah.
I was really young. Yeah, I was in my 20s. So, you know, dumb.
And that's what people in their 20s do anyway.
That's exactly right. But it worked, right? We went to the Rays game together. We had a great time. It's just we had to deal with it the next day. So during this meeting that we had the next day, the owner of the company is like, we can't trust you guys anymore. Are you stealing money from us? And this and that and this and that. And I'm like, oh, you guys are taking this way too far.
Yeah.
And so leading up to that for a couple months, I had the owner of the Real Deal. My boat was right next to him. So he had been saying over and over every morning when I saw him, James Raydell, he's on here. Sometimes he comes in the live stream. I think maybe he almost got blocked one time because he was talking smack about someone or something. So every morning he was like, I want to sell this boat. I want to get out of this business. I want to do this. So I had a friend. Yeah, he was over it. So I had a friend that was trying to get me to buy a boat for a bunch of years. He was like, look, I'll let you borrow the money. I'll help you. Right? An angel. That's what you call it in the fishing world. Yeah. It's like an angel.
An angel investor type person.
That's right. Yep. So a good friend of mine, he still is. I've known the guy for a long time. A family friend of Heather's family that I just got to know. And he's like, hey, like, let's do this. You know, I will help you. You're a great guy, blah, 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 whatever. So definitely a great mentor for me as well. But so the guy, so that day, or the very next day, I always kept a very good log of the trips that I ran, the amount of fuel that I used, and all that sort of deal. So Heather and I went through all that stuff, put a business plan together, approached the our investor, our friend, and he was like, let's put an offer in on the boat. We put an offer in. We gave James maybe a week to get back to us about the offer. He accepted it.
He accepted.
We bought the Real Deal, and the rest is history. You know, like 3 days later, I gave my 2 weeks notice, and here we are.
And
That was 10 years ago.
That's a super cool story. I always wondered how you officially committed into doing it, because I know that's like a big deal just to make that jump.
Yeah, it was really just them. They pushed me to do it. You know, that negative energy has always been very motivational to me. So anytime I get like something negative that happens in my life from people that I know or people that I trust or whatever, that really motivates me to, I guess, show them what I'm capable of.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Because I don't think most people really understand what each and every one of us are capable of. If you really set your mind to do something and you follow through with doing it, there really is nothing that you aren't capable of doing.
And that's what I try to project. And I think that's a huge thing to project to everybody on this app, because there's a lot of people that are sitting there and they're maybe on the fence about whatever, a job, going live on here, stuff, and to have that extra motivation.
Yep. It's scary, right? It's scary to put yourself out there and to risk. It's taking a risk, right? If you aren't willing to ever take a risk, you're never going to succeed. So at some point, you have to just go for it. It doesn't matter if you fail, really, right? I've failed at a ton of different things in my life. That's part of life. And the more you fail, the smarter you get, and you learn how to not fail. You learn how to succeed.
Failures.
That's right. Yep.
Go Brave, Southern guy. What's up, buddy? But yeah, I saw y'all got fantasy football leagues going on. I tried that for like 3 years and can't ever pay attention. I get into like week 6 and I quit paying attention to it. No.
You got to put money on the line.
Yeah, you got to have a little money involved to even make it a little bit fun.
Yeah, otherwise I don't pay attention either. If there's no money involved in it, I'm not paying attention to it. Not fantasy football. It's not worth it. It's like, why am I even doing this?
And that's kind of how I am with the NFL in general. If I like to watch a game, there needs to be a little bit of money on the line just to make it fun.
Yeah. Well, the fantasy football makes me actually pay attention. So you know, it's not a lot. How does joining an agency help? But Melanie, we will get to that. We're going to talk about that a little bit today. But it really makes me pay attention, and not only to my team, but all the other teams too. So it's genius for the NFL to like push that fantasy football shit, because it makes everybody watch football.
And I saw where ESPN's doing the college stuff. I could probably get into that more than I could the NFL, because I watch a lot more college football. And we have sports things in common too, y'all. His son plays baseball. Mine play baseball. I think our kids I've got one that's 15 and one that's 11. So they're very close to the same age.
Yeah, I mean, my boys, Elliot's going to be 15 December 31st, and Lincoln just turned 11. So very close in age.
They are close.
Okay, so when's the crappie fishing get good there?
It'll be really good here in it's starting to get good now, but I would say another month. Right now, these fish are all transitioning to a deeper part. When it's hot summertime, they will be stuck on structure, and you can catch them. It's just hard to make them eat, and you got to hit them at the right time. Right now, they're moving into deeper water, and I actually went out there a couple of days ago. Let's go with the what was I don't even know what gift that was.
That was a fringe. Well, it's one of the new gifts.
One of the new gifts.
Blind football. Oh, I've never seen that.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that one either, I don't think. But they go deep, and like right now, those fish, I found about 50 of them in 18. They were 18 foot deep in like 40 foot of water. So
do you live scope?
Yes, I do live scope catching. We also do a lot of dock shooting. If my preferred way of crappie fishing is to cast toward these fish with artificial baits. I get one of the most asked questions I get is, "Oh, do you get a minnow or do you use minnows?" And I'm like, I am not really the minnow guy. I have used them and they work, but I don't really like to minnow fish anymore.
Gotcha.
I've gotten so used to using artificial baits or
Well, it's a lot easier, right? You don't have to like try to keep your minnows alive and go to the bait
try to
shop.
keep them alive. You don't have to hook them every time they get stolen. And when you're shooting a dock, you can't shoot a dock with live minnows. I mean, you could let it drift under there. So
Yeah, but you ain't
minnows have their limitations. But as it gets into the fall, which is coming up, they will be more of just long lining, kind of with long poles and dropping it down there straight on their head, just because it's more efficient to do
So
it.
do you guys troll? Do you troll for them there at all?
I don't troll for much. We've done it a few times. Whenever Live Scope came out, it kind of got rid of the trolling.
I guess you don't really have to troll for them if you know right where they're at.
If they're 18 foot deep, you can literally put the bait right on their head and see if they're going to eat or not. And what holds us back on the channel because of the internet is normally if I go up to those fish and they don't bite within 10 minutes, I'm pulling up the trolling motor and gone.
Yeah, yeah. That's
or
the same for me. I don't
sometimes
wait
you pull up and they may not be there. And, you know, if they're not there, I'm gone. But with the internet only working in there's like 10 spots out there that I can fish. If I pull up on one of them now and see fish, I'll actually sit there on them a long time just because I know I've got internet and I can talk to everybody and actually fish.
And you know eventually they might bite.
Yeah, they bite in windows. It's weird. They may not bite for 6 hours straight, and then you may have a 45-minute window where they just go crazy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's like fishing's like that everywhere, though. It's the same thing here.
And if of course, the storms affect them. If you can hit it right before that storm gets there, they usually eat. It's almost a guarantee. But
right, when that barometric pressure's dropping, they all eat.
What's up, Panfish Pirate? Yeah, when that barometric pressure starts dropping, it's like something turns on. I don't know what makes it do it, but
okay, so maybe in like a month I'm gonna come up there. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's right. A month. If you want to catch the big ones, the time to come is like February. That's when the giant, all our bigger fish, that's when they're.
Are those females are all rode up?
Mm-hmm. And if you can ever catch it to where
usually let those ones go.
We do, and there's a lot of controversy about whether or not you should do it. And I honestly couldn't sit here and tell you what the right or wrong answer is to that question. The reason I let those fish go is because of genetics. And the way the Texas, if you follow the Texas bass program they have, there's a guy there that's caught like 60-something double-digit bass now. Wow. And they turn them in on what they call a share lunker program, which goes to the Texas Wildlife Department. Well, they bring them into a certified scale and they weigh them, right? Right. After that, they have this whole laboratory where they take that fish and they go breed it with all these females in this lab that's like a Texas Wildlife Department.
Oh, that is interesting.
Then they take all the fish that are come from that, and they go back and release them into the lake.
Gotcha.
That lake has produced insanely the amount of 14+ pound bass they've caught in the last 5 years is crazy.
They're letting fish go that have the potential to get that big, because some fish are never going to get that big.
And some are never going to get that big. They're looking at them. And the other reason I do it, there's two reasons really, is when I kind of get picky on the kinds that are on the size that I like to eat.
Sure, yeah.
And 10 to 13 inch crappie fits perfect in the frying pan. You know? I mean, it's like the chicken fingers you can buy at Walmart or whatever that you put in there and fry. That's the exact size. When you catch a 3-pound crappie and you fillet it, the fillet is going to be this thick.
You got to cut that into nuggets, like a grouper nugget.
Cut it into nuggets. A lot of people, what I'll do if I fillet them in the past, what I'll do is cut it in half. just
Right.
straight in half, and then it's not as thick. But why do it like in my situation where I'm able to catch so many fish? It just don't make sense for me to keep one of them. Like,
Yeah, you can be picky about the ones you want to keep.
yes, that is
the same
correct.
thing for me. We catch so many, like, you know, if the fish is, I mean, normally the bigger fish, I guess saltwater is a little different, but
Yeah,
we're letting all the small fish go because I want them to grow up. I'm
Yeah.
allowed to keep them, but you just don't get enough. You don't
good
get enough
fish
meat off of them to make it worthwhile,
to make it worth the time. Somebody came, well,
and they don't get to
people
reproduce.
come through my live all the time, and they're like, "You got on real deal's hat." I'm like, "Yeah," and then they'll say, "Oh, he's got on your hat." I think that's so cool. I'm like, "Yeah," I'm like, "That's how we do things. Y'all
That's
get,
my guy.
come join the family, and you'll figure it out."
That's right. Yeah, it's been awesome though. I like the whole Starlink thing. Let's talk about that again. So my people were telling me to get Starlink for like 2 years.
Uh-huh.
You need to get Starlink. You need to get Starlink. You need to get Starlink. Like every single day I would get that because I'd get out to about 5 or 6 miles and
Drop out.
right, and then it's over. I'm like, well, you guys got a little bit of fishing in today. I'll see you at the end of the day. We'll go to the cutting table and do that. And that's really where a lot of my people came from is when I clean fish. People really like to watch that.
Yeah, they do. It interesting.
I'm like, oh my God, there's 1,000 people watching me clean fish and make fun of me right now.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I say. It's a lot. Just doing that is like you got to have a little bit of balls, or I don't know if I should have said that on here, just to do that live on here because you're going to get lots of people. I know my mods have to work hard. At one time, we had some blades that were dull, and we were butchering some of them, and they're like, "Oh my gosh!" But we caught that. I'll say we caught a Spanish mackerel too whenever we were down there at Panama City. And I did not really, because I haven't cleaned a ton of saltwater fish, but I cleaned that fish I cleaned it in our condo. But anyway, that thing didn't have any slime on it. I'm so used to the fish being so slime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when I put them down there, there's slime all over crappie, and I'm like, this fish has no slime on it. It was kind of.
They have those little scales all over them, though. I bet that stuff got all over your condo.
Yeah. Well, the weird thing I noticed in them was that little bloodline had bones in it.
It does. Those are like pin bones or Y bones. You just cut that little part out. And
yeah. Dude, it was delicious. That was the only one we caught. So we just had that. We had 2 fillets. Now it was a big, good size fillet, but we were planning on grilling one night anyway. And I went out there and grilled steaks, and then we took that mackerel out there with some lemon and some aluminum foil.
Heck yeah.
I left the skin on one side and put it down, and it was delicious. I mean, it was so good. The condo company loved it. Y'all didn't get the condo was good. I had a little.
The way to clean them for sure, though. Like cook or the way to cook them, skin down on the grill. Now, when I clean Spanish mackerel, I take the skin off because I think they taste better that way, and I want my customers to want to catch them again next year. So if I don't clean them properly and they take them home and cook them, and they don't care for them, next year when they come back, they're not going to want to eat them. They're going to want to fish for something else.
They're going to want to go do something else.
Right. So I try to make sure they are processed properly so that when they go home, they can put them right in the frying pan. They're going to like how they taste. They're going to enjoy their meal. And next year when they come back, they want to fish for that same fish again.
Those mackerel are usually in the Bay Area. You can usually find them somewhere. You know, they're a good one. We went on a charter trip years ago. My kids were small. It was out of Panama City, and it was called a kids fishing trip because I just wanted them to catch fish. But that's all we trolled for mackerel in the bay of the Panama City area there. But I would love to go down there and get on some of those redfish is what I would really like to do.
That's a lot of fun. I do that every once in a while. I really don't do a ton of inshore fishing. I might do that tomorrow, though. I don't know. I want to fish somewhere tomorrow. I just don't know where I'm going yet.
I got a buddy that come by here. He lives here, and he hasn't made some kind of it's an artificial bait called a drifting crab, I believe was the name of it. It's in production right now. It's not officially out, but he showed me a bunch of videos of them using it down there, and basically all you did was throw it out in the current and it drifts, and it's just it looks just like a crab drifting. And man, they destroyed the redfish on those things.
That's pretty cool. I mean, redfish love crabs. The last time I caught redfish, Lidster left like a dozen fiddler crabs or something on my boat, and I went out a couple days later and they were still alive. They were in the box. I'm like, oh my god, these crabs are still alive. And I think I caught a couple redfish that day, just casting little fiddler crabs at them.
Just casting to them. What's up, Kyle? You like to get on some mahi? Mahi are definitely the prettiest fish out there.
They're pretty.
Yeah.
All those offshore fish are like that, though. They're the mahi, the wahoos, and the tunas. When you catch them, they're so lit up and beautiful. African pompano, like all those fish are really unique looking when they come out of the water. And it's amazing. Like you throw those things in the fish box, and within 2 minutes, they lose all their color.
Really?
Yeah,
they're so shiny too. Like right when you catch one of them, it's like a whole different level. Those hogfish are so cool looking too. I mean,
they are. Those are a very unique fish. They're actually a type of wrasse. Like everyone calls them snappers, but they're in the wrasse family. They're related to like parrotfish, Spanish hogfish. All those kind of fish are related, and they're a very unique fish because when they hatch, every single one of them is a female.
Really?
And when they are getting ready to spawn, they will get into like a small school, and it'll be all females, and a couple of the males will turn into or a couple of the females will turn into males.
Wow.
And that's what they do. It's pretty weird fish.
That's crazy stuff. Nature is a crazy thing, right?
Yeah. Groupers, a lot of groupers are like that as well. Like the gag groupers, I believe that all of the large gag groupers are male groupers. So they all start out as female, and eventually like the bigger ones turn into males, which is weird because a lot of fish, like the bigger fish is the female, but the gag groupers aren't like that. So if you catch a 50 or 60 pound gag grouper out here in the Gulf, it's most likely a male.
Mostly a male.
That's so what happens is everybody targets those big fish.
Yeah.
And you're leaving fish there like the breeding stock, but you're taking all the males.
You're taking the males out of the population, yeah.
Right. So if there's no male, there's nobody's getting fertilized.
That's crazy. I never realized it was like that. The whole thing too. Another thing people don't realize about this, where we started this Crappie Guru show, y'all, is this is the middle of a 25,000 acre management area. So literally I can get in my boat and drive across the river and climb in a deer stand and hunt because it's all public land. It's also all, which also is probably a big reason I don't have internet. I mean, but it's super cool. It's like all of the lakes I've been to, we've got one up here called Smith Lake, and it is just people everywhere. Houses are side by side by side. You know, it's a rock lake, super clear, super clean water. But you get here, and I mean, the houses are like river counts. And even though it's a big, huge body of water, it's kind of disappointing. That's why I'd like to have Starlink just to show everybody how big this river is. And like, I'm in north central Alabama, about 300 miles from the Gulf of Mexico or the Mobile Bay.
Right.
Well, you can take this river, like we could get in my pontoon boat here, and there's probably, I don't know, maybe like 5 or 6 locking dams we'd have to go through. But eventually you will come out in the Mobile Bay.
Oh, crazy.
I actually had a trip my wife had a conference down there for her work in Mobile, and I went with her, just like a 2-day thing. Well, there's a tugboat, Lister, there's a tugboat out here that I see all the time going up and down the river. And I went to just walk the Mobile Bay right there when she was in her conference one day, and I saw the exact same tugboat that I see all the time right here, 300 miles away down there in the Mobile Bay. It was cool. I wanted to kind of jump out there and stop them, but you know they were doing their thing. I was like, that's crazy. But a lot of people actually do it. I've got friends every summer that they'll plan a trip and they leave and they camp. They usually camp on their boat, and it's like a 2-day trip. They'll stay overnight, and then they'll go on down to the beach or Mobile Bay, and then they'll trailer their boats back. They don't.
Gotcha. They don't try to go back upriver.
That's right. They'll trailer them back.
That's interesting. Heather and I want to do the Great Loop someday. Do you know what that is?
Great Loop. I do not.
So it's like a boat trip, basically, where you go, like if you started here in Clearwater, you go around Florida, through Okeechobee or down around the end, up the East Coast, through the St. Lawrence Seaway, into the Great Lakes, through the Great Lakes, into the Mississippi River, down the Mississippi River, and back to here.
That would be a fun trip. I mean,
it takes at least a year.
A year, that's a good, a good long trip then.
Yeah, and then maybe when our kids have moved out and that sort of deal, we are going to do something like that. At least that's our plan. That's quite a few years from now. I mean, who knows what changes between now and then, but it's definitely on our radar of things that we want to do. And normally, if we have stuff like that we want to do, we figure out how to make it happen.
That would be an awesome trip. Just make sure you don't end up like Joe versus the volcano. Y'all remember that movie?
Oh, yeah.
With Tom Hanks. Don't end up like that. Y'all, this is Captain Steve. Anybody from my side that doesn't know it, make sure you follow my friend here. Captain Steve or Captain Potter at Real Deal Sports Fishing. They are some of the biggest supporters of Fish Talk, y'all, that I know of on this entire app. There's several of us out there, but having that group of people, and I know Steve says this all the time, but like-minded individuals that think alike, all coming together, even though he's a saltwater fisherman, I'm a freshwater fisherman, but bringing positivity to everybody, y'all. That's what it's all about.
And really, really trying to push the Fish Talk community out there. We are a huge community. I don't think people realize how many fisher people there are in the United States even. And we have people that watch, and I'm sure you do as well, from all over the world. But in particular, like let's say the United States and Canada, I mean, there are millions and millions and millions of people that fish or that like fishing. They watch it. They watch it on TV, whoever watches TV anymore, or they watch it on TikTok, or they go watch their YouTube videos. And it's nice to be able to, and this is really, I feel like the first time in human history where we can sit here and have this conversation with each other. I can go out into the Gulf of Mexico 50 miles out and people can see what I'm doing. The same thing, they can watch you there on the Warrior River. You have your Starlink going now. It's the first time ever that that as people we're allowed to communicate as well as
it's almost like a brand new world. I mean, the possibilities are really endless. There's a lot of things that are still being discovered. I mean, it's just kind of like the thing I was telling you with the video. I thought I may have figured out. There's all kinds of things on here, y'all, that you don't realize exist, but it allows everybody to come together from all parts of the United States. And I know everybody that I'll get, everybody will maybe say the guru sounds like Forrest Gump, but that's okay. Y'all just, that makes my live stream better. Dude, I get that comment all the time.
Rainbow, Alabama.
Yeah, they're like, this dude sounds like Forrest Gump. And I'll be like, Jenny, come on with it. I love it. It's the best comment I get, probably.
That's awesome.
Southern guy, you can't say nothing. You sound just like me.
You know, it's funny that you say that. So it depends on who I'm hanging out with. Like if I'm around, like most of my family's from Kentucky,
Yeah.
and they have that like hillbilly accent, you know? So if I'm around them for a while, I start talking like that.
You get that old slang going again.
Oh yeah. If I'm around someone from the Midwest for a while, I start talking like that. It's weird how like your dialect can change depending on the people that you're around.
I remember too when that show it was the Swamp People show out of Louisiana come out on the Discovery Channel. Well, they had to put the closed captioning at the bottom, and I'm like, how do people not understand these guys? You know, to me it sounded plain as day. I'm like, how do y'all not understand what they're saying? But it's all about the dialect of where you're from. Everybody around here where I'm at, they talk slow and they don't get in a hurry when they're talking. And
Kentucky's the same way. Tennessee, Kentucky, North Carolina, Alabama, Georgia, we're all the same.
They are.
You know?
Tennessee.
So my grandpa, like when I was a kid, you know, all the grandkids would laugh at him about how he talks.
Yeah.
He was just a straight up like coal miner, hillbilly, and I say that proudly.
Yeah. That's what my dad did. He was a coal miner.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people here do.
Most people couldn't understand what the hell he was saying half the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because unless you're around him all the time, it's a different language, basically.
Yeah, it is, and you get so used to hearing it that it's second nature to you to know what he's saying, but you don't realize that everybody else don't get it. And it's like when I listen to, say I go on CNBC and listen to the Jim Cramer guy in the evenings. I don't know if y'all know who he is, but he must be from somewhere up north. That dude talks so fast that I can't understand anything he says. It's like,
like, hey, slow down a little bit.
Yeah, and he goes from one topic to the next without ever taking a breath. I'm like, give us a second to take in what you're trying to say before you go straight into the next topic. Melody says, shoot him. Oh, the other question I got is, do you hold the world record for bananas on here?
Possibly. That's a possibility. I've had a few.
We could put Steve in the Guinness Book of World Records for getting bananaed on here, y'all.
I mean, I've been that way my whole life. I know where the edge is at, right? I'm allowed to go here, and I just like to maybe stick my toe over and see what happens.
Yeah, just to see what they do.
Yeah, maybe sometimes you get away with it, sometimes you don't, but you never know how far you can go unless you test it out.
And then you got a bunch of them that are just stupid. You know, I almost feel like the algorithm blocked you. So,
well, it happens sometimes.
Or bananas you.
Yeah, it could. Well, it's the AI.
Yeah.
They pick
on a
up
couple toes.
I've definitely done things on here that I should have been banned for.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you need to earn one. You got to earn one every now and then.
And I'm good at that.
Yeah.
I've been good here lately. I've learned, it's all been a learning process for me. When I first started, I had no idea what the community guidelines were. I was up there smoking and drinking and just hanging out and doing the things that fishermen do. And they frown upon that.
They do. And I would have never thought some of the things I didn't understand that they frowned upon the drinking thing. It took me a while to figure that out.
Me too. Yep. I used to sit there and cut fish and have a smoke and have a drink and do all the things right there that I've always done.
And it's all kinds of weird things. Like they don't want you to we can clean fish all day long.
Right.
You can't put a deer on here. That's, you can't go out there and put a deer. I mean,
no mammals. They don't like the mammal thing.
What is the difference exactly? But
I don't know. It's all food to me.
Chrissy said she earned her first 3-minute vacation. Let's go, Chrissy.
3 minutes.
You'll have to make a video so you can remember it. Her first banana ever. What
My first ban, right? My first ban was 30 days.
30 days. Get a good one right off the bat.
I was driving and I didn't realize it wasn't okay. It was in the middle of a hurricane. And I had the phone set up in the truck and I'm driving in a hurricane and I got banned for 30 days.
And that's another thing that Heather and them are going to be able to help y'all with. I know there's other people out here looking into the agency stuff. So their agency, once they started, y'all, they're going to be able to help you get out of any of those type of situations. Chrissy, if you got banned for 3 minutes, what did you do? I mean, you must have said like, that's like a really nice one. I didn't even know they could go that low with the minutes.
3 minutes. I think my shortest one has been 5 minutes. We were playing Would You Rather. Oh my goodness. You guys were getting toxic on there.
They usually give me 10 minutes when I'm in the boat. If I'm dry, taking the I don't do that. Captain Jack Sparrow drives the boat when I'm going down the river. So
that's right. You're not driving.
But they usually give me 10 minutes when that happens.
So I've noticed that I don't get in any trouble for that as long as the lighting is right. So this summer when I was doing the overnight trips, it was weird because right after dark, I would get banned. And it happened multiple times. So it definitely has something to do with the lighting and how the AI perceives what you're doing.
Yeah, picks up on it for some reason.
So they may have thought I was driving a car.
What did you do, Chrissy?
They were playing Would You Rather.
Oh, okay. Chrissy, why were Steve and I not invited for this game? That's what
She never invites me. And she's a trash panda.
She's a raccoon.
Yeah, that's what I mean, a trash panda.
So I can't ever get off of her. Every time I'll get on there and talk to her every now and then. I'm like, you're not a raccoon right now. You're not jumping. All I can ever remember is the raccoon popping on the screen. It's over here, then it's up here, then it's down. I'm like, damn, Chrissy, quit moving, Chrissy. Where are you going?
That's what she does.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. And then she'll make the panda a little tiny panda.
Yeah, Steve was there.
Yeah, Guru's great, Skip. Okay, so we were talking about the agency. Let's get that out of the way. Let's talk about that. So back during Live Fest, we were battling a lot. And what happens when you battle a lot and you start bringing the coins in is you start getting messages from agencies, right? And I'm sure you've gotten them a bunch. Like if you ever make the daily rankings or anything like that, you get bombarded by them. Mm-hmm. So I was looking at all these agencies and I'm like, none of these are geared towards what I'm doing. They're geared towards battling. They're geared towards doing all these other things. And that's not really why I'm here. I'm here to promote my fishing content. I'm here to meet new people and network and do all those sort of things. So when we were doing that, I was talking about it at the time. I'm like, well, why the hell aren't we doing this? Right? Because we can really bring our community together. Like we have a lot of people, and I'm sure you do as well, that like you are doing something and they see what you're doing and so they do it.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I can do this myself. I can show my fishing content. I can show my whatever it is they're doing and be successful at it as well, right? So they really, when you first start out on TikTok as a creator, you don't have really any representation besides just yourself. It's very hard to contact TikTok. And I'm not saying anything bad about TikTok. That's just the reality of how it is, right? There's no way to really talk to anyone. And so if you do get a violation, if you do get some of those things, there's no explanation really.
You just appeal it and wait.
That's right. And you have no recourse. So they can potentially just completely take your account if they want to. And there's nothing you can do about it because you are, at the end of the day, on their platform. So at that time, I was like, well, we should do an agency. Why are we not doing this? Let's do it. So we figured that out, how to do it. we have an employee, we have a couple employees. Like, I think that's part of it. You have to actually have someone that works for you that can legitimately run it. If you're live streaming all the time, so it's hard to do it that way. Like, I can't personally be an agency. I tried to do that. If I want to be a standalone creator, I cannot be an agency myself, right? Because now I have an agency account. Right now I have a creator account. There are different things. So Guru, if you try to take your account and make it an agency, you are no longer allowed to do certain things as a creator.
Yeah.
And so I ran into that and I'm like, well, shit, now I have to decide where I want to go here. Do I want to continue to do what I've been doing and grow my account and be a creator? Or do I want this account that I've worked on for like 2.5, 3 years to be a creator account? And so we decided, like, okay, so we have a business already, or an LLC and all that sort of stuff. So we're a legitimate business. All we have to do is take that agency and make it part of our business.
Yeah.
And then it's not me. Heather's running it. Her sister's facilitating it. Obviously, I am recruiting for it. I'm not even allowed to be in the agency. Like, and you may not. I am not. And Guru, you may not be able to either. So we have 5. We're allowed to have 5 elite creators. So that means that TikTok is allowing us to have 5 creators over 20,000 followers.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are certain things that will make you ineligible to be in an agency, and one of those is the amount of coins that you've accrued over whatever period of time.
Certain period of time.
Right. So if you've brought too much in, which may be the case in your instance, you're not even allowed to be in an agency.
Shouldn't be right now because of my 3-week absence of internet. You know, you would not. It's according to what they're basing it on.
Sure. Okay, so here's some of the things that you get by being in an agency. And I think personally, if I had it to do over when I first started out, I probably would have been in one because of all the bans that I've gotten, right? Like we were just talking about. If I had been in an agency, I think a lot of those bans would have probably been taken care of in less than a week, right? So I'm banned for 7 days. I got to sit here and not live stream for the next 7 days because I don't have any recourse. I don't have anyone I can talk to. Yeah. So what an agency does is they actually have someone at TikTok that they can talk to. Basically,
can contact immediately through email.
They can check on your account and see if it's like shadow banned, if they can do something about the ban. I mean, obviously, if you go on there and you do something that's egregiously against the community guidelines, no matter if you're in an agency or not, they're not going to be able to fix your account. If you like expose yourself or do some kind of weird shit, like we can't help you with that. And frankly, I don't know that I would want to. But if it's something that like the AI picks up and maybe it's like in a gray area, you can probably fix that and you can get your account back. That's one thing that an agency can do. Another thing is for a creator that is just starting out, if you don't have enough followers to go live yet, you can go live with 0 followers if you're an agency.
Oh, really? You don't have to have, what is it, 800?
I think it's 500 now, but you don't have to have that at all. You can go live immediately with 0 followers if you're an indie.
Followers, I didn't know that either.
Well, I just learned all this stuff, right? And Heather really knows a lot more about it than I do. She's been really studying it. And
my question kind of is too, I've got some, just like y'all get the TikTok messages or whatnot, I've got some that say they want me, because I don't battle. I bet hardly ever do we battle on here. Yeah. But the last 3 or 4 days, we've been running some battles. And the only reason we've been doing that is because I got a couple of the messages from them saying that they would prefer that I ran at least 5 per day. So I was like, if they want me to run 5 per day, maybe we could try to appease them just to see what happens. And then I've noticed how some of these agencies have boosted that. And I didn't know how they did that. You know, I didn't understand how anybody would come out on top. you know what I'm saying? If
I
we're
do.
both throwing gifts, if I'm throwing a gift for you and you're throwing a gift for me, we're really both just losing in the end. I mean,
I know. And that's really called just recycling, right? And a lot of people do that. So those gifts and the taps on the screen and the comments and the shares and all of those things combined together push the algorithm for your page to be pushed out to people. So if you can figure out
like a happy medium
how
of,
to manipulate those things,
yeah.
you can push your content out more than everybody else. So, and there's a way, everybody can do this, right?
What's up, Mitchell? What's
So
up?
another good thing about being in an agency like that, like we have a separate Discord for our agency where you can learn those tricks and those tips and those strategies for how to grow your account, how to get new followers, how to get more people watching your account. I don't mind sharing that information with people, and I do very often. However, that's a really good way to learn all those things. You can go be in the agency if you have a question like, how does this work? How does that work? That's somebody that you can actually talk to that can answer those questions for you. If you're just on your own, you have nobody to answer the damn questions. I've been there. I've learned all this stuff by doing it, by like getting banned 20 times.
And a message to another creator or something that might know, you know, that's the way I get a lot of them answered. But that's something that we know a lot of people from doing it. But it's like you said, you're on your own otherwise. And that's my thing. We don't battle a lot. And, you know, most people like to watch me fish. The majority of the people that watch me, they like to watch me fish. And I don't know if you're the same way, but if I've got 400 people watching me fish and all of a sudden we run a battle, it's going to drop my numbers in half or more, probably more than that.
Yeah, there are definitely a lot of people that don't like the battles, right? There's no doubt about that. It's a weird thing. So I've definitely been in instances where the battles are
What's up,
people.
Jake? I see you, buddy. I had to say hey to Jake.
Yeah, no problem. What's up, Jake? So it pushes the people away from your account, right? The battles. Now, I've also been in situations where it probably brings people in, but it's all how you plan out the battles. If you don't, you almost have to promote the battle before it happens so that you get those people. If you just come on and start battling and that's all you're doing every day, like personally, that doesn't interest me that much. That's not what I go watch. Like I'll go pop into a few people's lives that are battling and maybe help them out.
It's amazing how many people do that, though. I'm amazed by that. You know, a lot of people, that's all they do. And I'm like,
there are a lot of people that are making money doing that. And that's definitely a way to, and I'm not saying anything about battles. I personally like doing it. It's fun. You get to meet new people. You know, it's a good way to network basically. And you also do make money on it,
and,
you know?
And I like battling, and Miss Linda, it's like she's one of them. She's not a big fan of battles, but she'll hang in there and watch us and tap the screen. But we usually try to battle other people that fish, you know, and sometimes that's hard to do because there's not a huge list of people on there that are fishing. And if you're fishing and you've got 600 people watching you, there's no way I'm going to send you an invite because I know it's going to cut your numbers in half, you know.
Yeah.
So I would never even send one. And that's the same way with all the other fishermen. If I know they got a lot of people in there, I'm not going to send you an invite to battle. No.
Real Hookers says panhandling. Well, you can look at it multiple ways, Real Hookers. And I know that there are people out there that think that if you are on here live streaming, and I've heard this from people, that you're basically panhandling or begging for money or anything. But you have to look at it a different way as well. If you are live streaming like Guru and I both do, and a lot of people on here, I have spent countless hours of my time and my money and my energy and all of my effort into making and putting together a good show for you, right? And so I don't look at it as panhandling. I look at it as you are tipping me for that time that I have invested in giving you a good show, letting you watch what I'm doing offshore, letting you watch what my fish cleaning, telling you what I'm thinking every day, putting myself out there and spending my time and energy is worth something. So if I come on this account and I get nothing from it, then why is it worth my time? You guys make it worth my time.
And that's exactly how it is. There's a million different things that go on behind the scenes that we're not going to sit here and show y'all. I'm not going to show you. I don't get on here and show y'all me fueling the boat up every day and taking off, and the money that goes into the boat and the money it goes for. I live 50 minutes from here. The drive that it takes for me to get 50 minutes to the river, 50 minutes back home, and then the nights that I spend here away from my kids. It's like, and it's not that I'm the same way. It's like it's like tips. We're not asking for money, but it helps us to put on a show and to bring positive vibes to people. And we understand that not everybody can gift, y'all.
That's right.
We want people tapping the screen are just as important as the top gifters. And that's the way I know Steve looks at it and I look at it.
Yeah.
But it's like he said, it's like a tip in order for us to keep the show running, because he and I can still just go out here and fish.
That's right. I was fishing way before TikTok.
Yeah, well, before TikTok ever existed, we were doing.
Now you guys just get to watch what we're doing. So in the past, you would go watch TV, right? You'd watch TV on Saturday morning, and you watch like Jimmy Houston Outdoors, or you watch Bill Dance, or you watch Jose Wiebe, one of the Saltwater Fly or whatever, or Spanish Fly, right? You would watch those guys. Those guys made millions of dollars doing what we are doing, right? How many millions have you made thus far, Guru?
Yeah, we're yet to hit that million mark. We're yet to hit it.
That's right. That's right. So it's a whole different Roland Martin. I mean, all those guys, right? Those guys are my heroes. And I feel like I get to kind of do what they were doing. Only I don't get paid $1 million to do it. I just get to be able to look like a fool in front of everybody and get,
yeah, if you can make
all of that part.
One person's day better, it's kind of worth it. If you can. As long as you've got the positive energy that day, everything's good.
Yeah,
I normally have no problems with the positive vibes. The only time I've ever had them is when the internet started screwing up. I
get that. And there are so many moving parts in what I'm doing, Guru. Like, you're on your own, right? I have, first of all, the weather. I have, which you have to deal with as well. But I'm out here in the Gulf of Mexico. It's not the most ideal. First of all, you have saltwater. Then you have like 1,000,000-degree heat. And then you have just so many different things that could potentially happen to make your live stream not work out. And then I have customers on board as well, and I have to respect their privacy and what they're doing as well. So for me to be able to do this, there are a lot of things that really have to come together. And, I run into sometimes like, okay, this just isn't working out. And now I don't even want to do this anymore. Or to be honest with you, like today I get here to the shop and I'm sitting here like, 20 minutes before we're supposed to go live. And I'm kind of like, man, I don't feel like doing this today.
Yeah.
Right. And I do it anyway.
You need to do it every day. I mean, they want you to do it every day.
Oh yeah. You do. And then, I think a lot of people don't realize that. Like they just watch, they come in for 20 minutes and they watch and they're like, oh, these guys are just fishing and living their best life. Like you said, they don't realize the preparation, the amount of things that you have to do to make this work.
All the things you have to think about, like he's talking about, y'all, you have to make sure your phones are charged, the different mounts you're going to put your phone on. Stuff breaks, of course, iPads, all that stuff happens. but like I said, we're not going to put that on the show. That's just the behind the scenes stuff, and it can be disheartening. And I've actually let a couple of the people on here that come on here and say something mean dishearten me a couple times, but I'm about past that point now. I just ignore them.
You know what, Guru? I am at the point where all that negative stuff just motivates me.
Yeah, that's the best way to look at it too.
Yeah, like we're
gonna have them every now and then.
Stop me. You can say whatever you want. If you don't, the best thing about this and the best thing about social media is if you don't want to watch somebody,
scroll on.
Just scroll to the next person. You don't have to watch me. And I promise you, if you are a negative person, if you don't like what you're watching, I don't want you to watch me anyway. Like, please don't.
Exactly.
Just scroll on to the next guy. Good luck to you. I feel like I put on a good show. I feel like you do as well. I think that a lot of people want to watch that. And
I had one come in and make a comment about my internet one day, right there in the middle of all my internet problems. And dude, within 5 minutes, I was like, yo, I'm getting off of here. I can't be positive anymore. You know what I mean?
I feel that. I feel that for sure.
I had to get off just strictly because he comes on and he's like, I think he said, you're always lagging. Do better. I'm like, dude, you don't have a clue what the hell I've been going through with this internet.
See, I get that too. Like sometimes people are like, oh, I could clean a fish this way and that way. And I'm like, pull up, show me, please. I have 120 fish sitting here. You are welcome to clean 3/4 of them if you're faster than I am.
Yes. I had a couple people come through my live yesterday and they said y'all caught 150 fish yesterday.
We had a lot. Yeah, it took me a couple hours to clean them all. It was a lot.
Earl, haters gonna hate, Earl.
That's it. Haters gonna hate, players gonna play. I'm gonna keep playing.
Y'all, also, we have 2 giveaways a month on this channel. So
so do we. Yeah,
we got to get the subscriptions back up. On my time off, like I said, I had 3 weeks off. We got to get that rocking and rolling again, which I'm sure we will. The 2 best fishermen on TikTok. What's up, Larry?
Larry, what's up, my guy?
What are Guru's deals?
When are your giveaways, Guru? Do you do like the new moon and the full moon like I do?
We used to do them on the 15th and the 1st. And I figured out that Verizon was screwing up my internet as the month started over. So I moved them to the 2nd and the 16th. But now I don't have to worry about that. I could move them back. You know what I mean? But right now they're on the 2nd of every month and the 16th of every month. And we may move them back to the 1st and the 15th just because that's easier to remember. But that's how we did them.
Gotcha. We do them on the new moon and the full moon.
Yeah, and that's a great way to do it too.
Yeah, and we did that just because, that's the fisherman thing. New moon, full moon, that's when the fishing's the best or around there. So I'm like, that's the perfect way to do it.
Jake said, let me chime in. I never win the damn thing. Jake is he's got like the most, how the longer you're subscribed, the more entries you get. So
yeah.
Jake and Linda, who I think are both in the chat, and Matthew too, they have the most entries of anybody, and
Jake hasn't won.
They've never won the giveaway. None of them.
Everyone says mine are rigged.
Oh yeah, if a mod happens to win, then it's rigged. So.
I'm pretty sure if anybody wins mine, whoever didn't win says it's rigged every single time. And they might be right. I don't know. Heather does it, so it could be rigged.
Yeah, that's right.
Because they're rigged.
They're all rigged, right?
That's right.
All rigged. That's just the way it is. But it would be
one
to have some. I like the fact that Heather is there to be able to actually concentrate on some of the stuff if we do the agency stuff.
Sure.
Yes. That is definitely.
We would definitely love to have you, Guru.
It's tough for me to make 2 video, and that's another thing, y'all. Not only are we trying to go live, but we're trying to produce content every day.
That's right.
So I put
found
out 2 videos every day. I mean, so it's like.
What's the question? Wait, Melanie has a question. What's your question, Melanie? Well, we can't pin it. As a mod, how do we help our creators besides normal things? I mean, the normal things are very helpful. Just when you are in the live stream as a moderator, share the live out, tap the screen, throw the roses, the 1-cent gifts. Those 3 things really drive the algorithm.
We love the mods.
No, I know, Mandy.
Right, Kyle, they are. It is hard putting out 2 videos.
That number keep trying to call me.
Melanie, and I'm going to tell on Melanie, and she's going to be mad at me, but guess who blocked Heather? Guess who?
That was Melanie. Oh,
no,
Melanie blocked you.
I'm sorry. Guess who muted? Guess who
muted her? I mean, Melanie, hang out over here sometime. I would definitely like you to be able to use that mute button sometime.
It was funny. It was funny.
That's exactly right. Welcome people in. Melanie, that's the best thing, is just try to interact with the people that are coming in as a moderator. Like if Guru's fishing and he's busy like doing the fishing, it's hard to really look at the screen all the time when you're doing that. So if your moderators are welcoming people like Rode does very well, welcome the new people in, say hi to them. When somebody gifts, thank them. We can't always do that. We don't always see it. But if our moderators are there, reminders of subs, the TikTok shop, like all of those things, if the moderators are doing those things, it makes the live stream better. It makes it more enjoyable, I think, for the people that are watching, and it gets people to stay. So what we are trying to do is get people to stay in our live stream and sit there and watch us and hang out with us. If they get interacted with, if they get talked to by the moderators, if they're welcome, if they get all those things, they are more likely to stay there. And not only that, you got to keep the chat rolling as well. Like all those things are the moderators' jobs, basically. And if the moderators do well at those jobs, it is going to make the show a lot better.
And really, when the mods put comments, just by commenting, sometimes it pushes the stream.
It definitely does. The more comments, the more they answer a lot of questions. Like my moderators basically know like all the answers to the questions that everybody asks all the time. So they can answer them for me, basically. Like I'll answer and I'll be like, oh, like 3 people already answered that question.
And I've had them get Jake's one of them. Jake he'll throw out, anybody got a galaxy in their pocket, and he'll post it up there. And then next thing you know, there's a galaxy stuff. Random stuff.
Matthew asked, does it hurt to kick the trolls? I have not seen that it hurts at all. We kick all of them. If you guys ever see somebody pop up that is trolling on this deal, unless it's funny and they're trolling in a positive way, like there's a way to do it to make people talk to you and react to it, right? And I do that a lot. I know that Lidster does that a lot. I'll go in people's lives and I'll say like kind of a smart ass comment or something funny, and it's trolling in a way, but it's intelligent. I find that 99% of the trolls are not. They say they say one word, they say 2 words. It half the time doesn't make any sense, and you get blocked. On this account, if you do that, you get blocked. It has not affected the people that watch me. It has not affected my numbers. Block them. Block them.
Sometimes we'll mute certain ones, but sometimes we'll block them too.
Well, the problem is they come back over and over if you don't block them.
Yeah, they'll come back.
Really negative, Larry. That's right. They're just looking for a reaction, right? That's what a troll is. It's someone that's looking for a reaction out of someone else. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. They are nasty half the time.
They've created an account and they have like 0 followers. Sometimes they'll have 4 followers, and then all they do is go create another one and do it again.
Yeah, and they can really take over your stream. And we had that for a while. For a while there, we were trying different things, right? So we were talking to the trolls, and we were trying to like bring them in, and we had fun with that for a little bit.
Playing around with them. I know what you mean.
And we do that, but that just took so much of my energy. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Just freaking block all these people, and we don't have to deal with them. As soon as they say something that is nasty or something like that, just block them. And then when they come back on their next account, we block that account too.
Yeah, that's right. And that's the way to handle it, y'all, because there was at one point we felt like we were getting turned in by somebody, but I think it might have been a group, like a, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Animal rights type thing.
Okay, so there are definitely groups out there, Guru, that do not want to see you succeed.
Yes.
I don't know who those people are.
Yeah, it's hard.
They are out there, sir. I would be careful about some of the people that you interact with on here at times, because you never know who you're really talking to.
Yes, I agree. And that's another thing, y'all. If you're new to this, people will say, well, can I come in your live stream? The answer to that question is no.
It's no every time.
You don't know who they are. They, even if it says that like they're some type of a fisherman or whatever, by you don't know what is going to happen when you allow them in there.
Yeah, they can do anything. They can get your account banned by their actions if they are saying things that are against community standards, if they do any weird things. Like, there's a lot of weird shit people can do. It's like our rule back when we were battling, and I didn't realize like how someone else being in your live stream can affect it. So we were just battling random people, and so we had some rules. We had like, if someone's laying in bed, we will not battle them. Like, yeah. I don't want to see you lay in bed, homie. I'm sorry.
They always have their hand behind their head too. It's
yeah, like, you know, so you have to be careful about who you let in, for sure. Like, make sure you know who they are. You've interacted with them before. Like, don't get caught up because somebody else is trying to bring you down, because there are people that will try to bring you down on purpose. I promise you.
Yeah, there are.
There are a lot of people out there that don't like to see someone else
There's
succeed.
a lot of people also that they want to ride your coattails. You don't realize, it took me a while to realize that. It really did. It probably took me 7-8 months to realize, okay, this person's just in here to get notoriety.
There is one reason this person is here. I know there are those people out there, and you know, I don't like that. I feel like if I have a relationship with someone on here, it's just like in real life. It has to be mutually beneficial. If you are using me to better yourself and I am getting nothing out of it, I'm gonna cut your ass loose.
Yes.
Right?
If there is a gain to be had by both sides, it's fine.
Well, then it works. Then it works, right? It's like you and I. We have always had a very good relationship. I do not mind sending all of the people that follow me. Please go follow Crappie Guru. He's a great guy. He's a family man. He works hard. He puts his time and effort into gaining his followers, right?
Rode, you're right, Rode. But that's the same way. Steve and I go back a long way, so it's very easy for us to trust each other.
That's right.
Sometimes, and I guess it's with the more followers you get, probably the worse that problem becomes. You end up having people show up just to get notoriety.
That happens.
I got a question for you. If you had to choose one type of fishing, what's your favorite type of fishing?
Oh, man. So my favorite type of fishing is bluegill and crappie fishing.
Bluegill and crappie.
Yeah.
I knew I'd heard you say that before. It's definitely the most relaxing style of fishing.
I like all types of fishing, but there is definitely something to be said about just sitting on a lake bank with a little spinning rod or a cane pole and just relaxing and not having to stress about whether you catch something or not. Honestly, if I go fishing myself, I really don't care if I catch anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to me. I'm just out there to like be outside and experience like just being able. It's my therapy basically.
It's like a different world when you get to go and it's just you now. You know, it's just you, and you're like, oh wow, this
What
is
is happening?
Remember what happened? Yeah, I remember what this used to be like. This is awesome.
Yeah. And I don't really care. I don't care if I go fishing just for fun by myself. I do not give a damn if I catch a single fish.
Yes.
I don't care.
Does Guru like using the scope? I do, Davis Bass. We use the scope a lot. We also, like, if I get around docks or in shallow water, the scope, sometimes it'll help you it'll let you know that there's fish in the area. But when you're fishing a dock, you kind of need to be paying attention to your line, your cast, your rod, and the trolling motor, and the scope becomes it's just sitting there type thing. So there is times when the scope is very, very helpful, and there are times where really I don't use it, but it's all dependent on where the fish are at and what we're doing. But now if they're 18 foot deep on a tree, the scope is helpful. Or during February, you can literally go out there, and these crappie, the big crappie, they will just swim out in the river. They're not scared of anything. So you can find crappie sitting, you can find one crappie sitting on a tree and catch that one fish.
Oh, that's
You
crazy.
could have never done that without the live scope. And that is like if I'm on fish, say a tournament, that's all I do in a tournament. I don't even you wouldn't even see me go to a brush pile. All I'm going to do is stay out in the middle of the river. I'm going to look for that one fish. He might be sitting on a tree. He might not be. He might be swimming a little bit. But that is how you catch your big crappie. If you're wanting to catch your 2 to 3 pounders. Now, if you're wanting to catch your 10 to 13 inch fish, go to a treetop. That's where they're going to be. What's up, Kayla?
Catchin' Lunkers wants to know if you think live scope should be in pro fishing. Can I answer that for him? And then you can answer him. So I think that they could do tournaments without it, and they can do tournaments with it. It's two different fishing styles.
That's what I said too. I think they need to do maybe half with and half without. And then
So what if they did this, Guru? Check this out. What if they have the entire like Bassmasters tournament up until the championship, right? And then during the championship, they take the live scope away.
Yeah, during the last tournament, take it away.
Yeah, and now you're on your own. You guys go catch them.
Go catch them. That would definitely be interesting. You know, the thing about banning it, you got a ton of people, and I know it's a huge controversy. There's a ton of people that want it banned because it's not fishing like it used to be, and that's true.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of people. It's a lot of people just looking at the screen and jigging, and you see.
Yeah, there's a lot, and the older school people like us, we're not really into that. Just looking at the screen and doing that.
It's like playing a
But
video game. I can do that at home.
At the same time, what a lot of people don't realize, there is a whole new generation of fishing from like 28 under that they actually do enjoy watching the live scope.
Right, absolutely. It's like watching a video
some
game.
of them, that's all they know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how they were brought up. Is live scope and they're really good at it.
Yeah.
I mean, live scope's not just going to throw fish in your boat. The first 6 months I had mine, I had absolutely no clue what I was looking at.
Right.
I might as well just been a fish out of the water out there trying to catch fish. I'm looking at stuff. I'm trying to catch something. It's not even a crappie. It ends up being a gar. All kinds of screw ups. It takes at least 6 months just to get comfortable with it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You also got to think about the boat control that's required to learn to use it. I mean, you got to be able to sneak up on a crappie. The majority of the crappie I catch when I'm live scoping, I'm within 20 foot of them. So I'm sneaking up on these fish. They may not be 5 foot deep, getting 20 foot from them and then trying to catch them, which is all about boat control. And I didn't understand any of that
Right.
at the beginning either. I
I
mean,
mean, they made that a little bit easier too with the new trolling motors and the spot lock and all that stuff. Like,
see, I don't have one yet. That's my next electronic that I'm gonna get.
yeah.
That, I don't know if you've been on that Ghost trolling motor.
Oh yeah.
That thing is so quiet.
Yeah.
That thing turns a 360 and it don't even make a sound.
That's
It's
crazy.
like, how does that happen? My buddy's got one and he come out here and took me fishing, and then I was like, well, hell, I gotta have one now.
Well, I'm still pretty
gotta
old
have
school.
one.
I don't have a trolling motor, and I do have an anchor.
Yeah, that's right. Just anchor her down.
Just put the damn anchor out. And see what happens.
What's up?
Gump, he's in Greenbow, Alabama.
Gump, I'm in close to Birmingham, Alabama. I'm about, I guess, 45 minutes from Birmingham.
So, Guru, how far are you from Anniston, Alabama?
Probably about an hour and a half.
Okay, that's not too far. I lived there when I was in kindergarten.
Okay.
I snuck my first kiss from a girl on the merry-go-round in kindergarten.
That's cool. I used to work
In Anniston,
there.
Alabama.
I worked for the railroad for 20 years, and we had a job that went on duty out of Anniston. Amtrak would stop in Anniston at the train depot, and it would take people on to Atlanta. Like you could ride it from Anniston to Atlanta.
Cool.
And we had a job that there was a bunch of industries there we worked. So I'm familiar with the Anniston area. And then Talladega, of course, is
It's right there.
right there between here and there.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I actually got to go to Talladega a couple times when we lived there. I was so young, though. I was in kindergarten. My dad was stationed there in the Army.
Yeah.
Whatever Army base that is right there.
I know. Bremen.
Or something. I don't even know.
Start with a B, I think. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
We actually used to have to set railroad cars off at that Army base. Or at
Gotcha.
They make all kinds of different. Right now, they make all kinds of different like military equipment. That's what they do.
Right.
But
I lived in Anniston 55 years. I'll be ding dong. You know what else I remember about Anniston is all the fire ants. And my little brother, he was still in diapers at the time, used to sit on the fire ant mounds.
Yeah, used to sit there.
He would sit right on top of them on purpose. And, I mean, he's my younger brother. He had issues. Anniston Army Depot.
So you had to keep him off of the fire mount.
Oh, yeah.
Fire ants all the time.
I don't know why the hell he did that.
Yes, that's what it was called, the Anniston Depot. We went on
The
duty.
Anniston Army Depot. That's
We
right.
went- it also there's an exit off the interstate that said, and it might be the
Fort
Anniston Depot.
McClellan. That's it. Fort McClellan, Alabama.
And they used to, we would set off a bunch of Army tanks, is what we would put. I can remember we'd have a whole train full of Army tanks. What's up, Jason?
What's up, Jason? So my dad was he was a truck driver in the military, and then when he got out of the military, he was a truck driver for 40 years or something. He retired recently, but he drove a gas tanker most of my life once he got out of the Army. So it was cool to be able. So I don't think you could probably still get away with doing this, but when I was a kid, like maybe the rules weren't quite as stringent as they are anymore. But I would go ride with him on occasion in his semi.
Yeah.
And, I'd be like riding around, 10 years old in with 8,000 gallons of gasoline behind us,
Things were different back then, that's for sure. They probably wouldn't allow it for nothing now, but
Probably not.
My dad was in the Army, I think, for 3 or 4 years, and then he had testicular cancer when he was in his 20s. So they had to discharge or medically discharge him, and then basically, when he got done with that, he went into the coal mines. And then,
Gotcha.
and then after that, he got his electrician's thing, and then he got a job with the railroad. And well, he wired houses forever. But then after he got through wiring houses, his final job was to get a a job with the railroad as an electrician, but then his cancer came back. Like, this was 10, 12 years ago now, and it got to head to my appointment. Y'all, brother Matthew right there that just commented, he has got a cancer on his face. Y'all say a prayer for my man. He was the first person I thought about when I woke up this morning. Today is his appointment, and he needs a good report today.
Good luck.
Already beat it one time. So this is
good luck to you, Matthew. And we do that a lot. I'm sure you do as well. We definitely have a lot of followers that, for one reason or another, need prayer, like health issues and things like that. Or their family members have health issues. And we really have a great community where we all pray for each other and just put that. I think there's a lot of strength in like a group of people having that positive energy towards something.
Knowing they're behind you and pulling for you, you know, I mean.
Yeah.
Thinking about you when we wake up, brother. And when I say that, I'm not kidding either. It was really last night, I thought about it before I went to sleep. And then this morning, you were the first person that crossed my mind today. So hopefully, we're hoping for an awesome report. That would be great, great news. And Matthew's a great guy too. I mean, he's been with me he's one of my mods, and he's been with me for a long time. You know, I have a lot of people just like you do that have been here since the beginning.
Yeah.
Jake and Melanie, the one that muted Heather, they've been here since the Crappie Guru started. I mean,
yeah, we share a lot of people. Like Jake has been on my channel since the beginning.
Yeah, Jake's on your channel all the time.
Yeah. He's
one of your mods too, right? I think. Yeah, he may not. I don't know, but anyway. So having that community like that is just awesome. But
it's pretty amazing. I don't know how else you would be able to do that without having a platform like this. Like, you can't do this in any other way in life unless it is like this. So this has never been possible. I tell people that all the time, like with the Starlink thing, you are doing something that nobody else in the world has ever done before.
Yes, and that's crazy.
It is.
It would be awesome if that, whatever Kasimi's got, would work for me.
I bet it will.
I'm just not to the point to where I'm ready to get the kind you have. I mean,
well, you probably don't need that.
Yeah.
Like my case is a lot different than yours. Like, I'm out in the Gulf. Like, it's the environment is definitely not as suitable just because of the saltwater and all that stuff. That stuff like tears everything up. It's not like being on the river where the fresh water doesn't hurt it quite as much.
The only issues I have here is just about this entire river. The banks are super steep, and it's like mountains surrounding you. So like right now, I mean, I'm looking up at the top of the hill right here where I'm at, but it goes, my dock is 6 foot deep right up against the bank. And then if you go out here to the end of the dock, it's 25 foot deep.
Gotcha.
That is straight down.
Yeah.
And it's like that. This whole river is just like that. So what that does, it makes the banks are all mountains. They're high.
So that makes it really tough for the Starlink to work.
Makes it tough for the signal to get out.
Yeah. So you need a tower on your boat.
Maybe that would work. Who knows? I'm just so glad that this taking the tree down worked, because I had no idea if it was gonna. Even though we took down 7 trees, but we took down 1 monster tree. Even after doing all that, when I would run that little Starlink test, there were still spots that were blocked. You know what I mean? And I was like,
yeah, absolutely.
So I was not positive that it was going to work, even though we did all that. So it was such a relief just to know that it's going to actually work.
Yeah, I'm so glad that it's working for you, though. That had to be so frustrating for you to just everything just rolling along so well, and then one day you just don't have internet anymore. That would drive me so crazy.
We were we were on a roll too. When
I remember you guys were like really cranking.
And then all of a sudden it's just like, oh my gosh, every time I try to get on here, I couldn't clean fish. I couldn't fish. The whole show was based here. It started here.
Yeah.
I think the first video we ever posted, I don't even think I was going live yet, was in March of 2023. And it was from this house.
Right.
And right after that, we fished from the dock. The very first live I ever did, we fished from the dock. And then everything was just built around this house. So it's like, and if Starlink wouldn't have worked, I don't know that there was any other options. We were out of options. It was like Starlink or.
Oh, I know. I remember. Like we were talking about coming up there and helping you build a tower.
Yeah, that's right.
Build a tower. I was not joking about that. I'm like, man, we could totally go help Guru out.
Well, if it wasn't going to work, first I thought I'm just going to try this little mount. It only sticks up like 3 foot. It's not a big mount, and it's working. But there's another mount. It's kind of like a telescoping pole. I was going to get that next if that didn't work. And if we had to build a tower, that might have been what was after that. But it's like but thank goodness it's working.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad it's working. I thought it would work for you.
What's up, RT? What's up's in the building? What's up, RT? I don't know if y'all follow RT What's Up, but he is Fish Talk community, y'all. He gets out there and puts in the time. Make sure you follow my man.
Heck yeah. We had famous fishermen in here earlier. Do you know who that is?
Yes. I think everybody, the two-handed bass fisherman. One in each.
Oh, yeah, the two-handed. I'm like, I watched him do that one day, and I'm like, oh, my God, that is so impressive.
It is.
How in the heck can you bass fish with 2 hands? Like,
he's feeling for bites and reading. I'm like, man, this is I felt bad about my ability after watching that.
Me too. I'm like, man, he's double fisting the whole time.
Let's go, Jake. Let's go, brother. Jake might be a mod for Captain Eric. That might be what I was thinking.
Okay.
He's a good friend of mine.
Cool. Heck yeah.
Let's go. Yeah, Captain Eric had a great plan, and that's another thing. Like if we get Starlink on the boat, it would be just coming up with a great plan of like he did with the whole Wilson community.
Yeah, absolutely.
How to support the Starlink. That was
sure. And that's what we have done. We did it through subscriptions, basically. So I'm like, guys, if I'm going to do this Starlink thing, it's going to be very expensive for me, right? So the marine package that I got, it's like, with an inverter and with all the things, it's like $3,000 just to get started. That's without the monthly package.
Yeah, so that's without paying anything.
Yeah, right. And then I got to install it on the boat, and I got to do all that stuff. So I think my highest bill so far has been around $1,400 for the month.
Yeah.
So that basically takes my subscription money that I get, and it goes right back into the Starlink. So it's not like I'm like making any money off of that.
Yeah. How do the overage? How do they do that?
I think it's around $2 per gigabyte.
Per gig, and we use a gigabyte in 10-15 minutes. I bet you.
I know. And you know how much I was live this summer, like June and July. It was 12 hours a day every day or more.
Big country. See you, brother.
See you, big country.
Yeah, but it's crazy like that.
Yeah, so I mean, it's very expensive. I don't think everybody realizes that all the time.
Yeah,
that I'm not. I bring in a little bit of money from TikTok. However, it's not very much. Like I put most of it back into TikTok just to be able to do this. So it's like
just to be able to attempt to do it. I mean, a lot of it goes straight back into it.
It has to, otherwise it doesn't work.
because you have to have all kinds of things.
Yep.
Sure. But the whole so the agency thing, I gotta fill. If I decide to do it, I gotta fill out a form, right?
Yeah. All you got to do, so you have to get it. You have to get an invitation code from TikTok. You send that to the Real Deal agency. Everybody is welcome to join. In your case, you have more than 20,000 followers, so it's a little more difficult for you to get in an agency. We can put the application in and try to see if it works. We can figure out why it didn't work if it doesn't. I think that it would be beneficial to you. I think that we can learn a lot of things from each other. Not that we don't talk, but this gives us like a platform away from just live streaming. I plan to help Heather out a lot with that. I've gotten really good at being able to manipulate the algorithm on here. Like I know how it works. I can make it work. I can go into somebody else's live and make it work.
I'll tell you a crazy thing I saw about the algorithm one night. The dude that catfishes all the time, got Chunky's catfishing. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, oh yeah.
He catfishes. Well, he said he was talking to his chat and he said, "Y'all watch this. I'm going to make it go to 3,000 people watching us." And he already, you know, he's got a ton of followers.
Sure.
So he had like 1K in there at the time. Well, he has like 5 rods back there, and one of them's hung up on a snag.
Right.
He goes back there. He told his chat what to watch the numbers. So he goes back there and he starts pulling on that rod, and he said, "Is that a fish? I feel a fish on there." Well, he does that for like 4 or 5 minutes straight.
Yeah.
Straight to 3,000 people watching. I'm like, okay.
Crazy.
So it's stuff like that he's figured out, you know, just from doing it and all.
Yeah. It's the same thing. Like I know how to get people to watch. Like I can go right now, I can go out here and go shark fishing, and we're going to get 2,000 or 3,000 people watching us.
Yeah, they love that.
It happens every time. I don't personally like shark fishing, so it doesn't interest me that much. I'm like, I don't give a damn if there's 2,000 people watching. I really don't want to shark fish.
Yeah. The shark's the last thing you probably want to be dealing with.
I don't, but I know that I can do that. I can go out here. Listen, I can take my little boat, put a Starlink on it, and go out here and shark fish every single day, and probably gain followers and gain all the shit.
Yeah. Just from that.
If you start arguing right now, your numbers will go up.
You're right, Lidster. He's right. He's 100% right on that, because my best TikToks are the ones where people get on there and argue, and they act like something, you know, there's some kind of controversy.
Oh yeah.
The ones, one of them I made, I don't even remember what it was about, but it was all about controversy in the end. And I think it's the best video I've ever had view wise.
Right.
All because people got on there and argued with each other.
Right.
In the comment section.
Yeah, because I mean, when I go to a good video, that's the first place I go. I'm like, oh, these comments got to be good. Right? And then I'll sit there. In the meantime, the video is rolling while I'm sitting there reading the comments, and all that's doing is driving that video. Because the longer somebody watches your videos, the more likely
it is to
get pushed out.
It is. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Mike said, "Don't go there. Y'all are too professional." Mike is the fish and miss person. Is that the guy that catches the tilapia?
Yeah. He cast nets for him. I watch him sometimes.
I thought that was him. I wasn't sure.
We just had Advanced Crab and Seafood in here. He's doing a very similar thing to me. He is live streaming from out in the Gulf. He has a Starlink as well, but he commercial fishes. So mine's a little different. His is he can control what he has going on a little more than I can.
Al with the chili peppers. Let's go, Al. What's up?
Thank you, Tam Tam. Thank you, Dear Diary. Yeah, the world, Brad. I mean, the world does love controversy. And I think a lot of times my live stream, and I know it has in the past, has kind of been like a soap opera at times.
Yeah.
Well, you know, because you get, I mean, if you get that many people together, that if you get 10 people together, there is going to be 1 or 2 people that don't like everybody, right? That is just life. And you, as a person, do not have to like somebody if you don't like them.
Exactly.
That's the real world. If I don't like you, I don't have to like you. That is my prerogative. I'm a person. I think for myself. I don't give a damn if you like them or if somebody else likes them. If I don't like them, I don't like them. And that's just how it is. And I am going to continue to be that way for the rest of my life. I will not change because TikTok tells me I need to, or because anybody tells me I need to. Other people have been telling me that my whole fucking life. If I don't like somebody, I don't like them, and that's just how it's gonna be.
Trailer park, I'm on the Warrior River in Alabama.
Customers were worn out yesterday. Yes, they were done.
That's the
Mike H, that's right.
They're standing down there just reeling up fish. That'll wear them out.
Oh, yeah.
We took my son snapper fishing. I don't remember when it was, and we sat there and reeled them up, one after the next. And after like the third one, I just sat back and I'm like, I'm on video and get me a spicy water. Y'all reel them up, boys. They just were reeling on, one after reeling them up. But don't change for nobody. Right, baby? We don't change for nobody.
That's right.
Pipeline, that's right. But we are
that's exactly right.
Group, y'all, on here. And I know a lot of the people on here are thinking about doing different things, and it might not be TikTok, it may be something else in life. And if there's any way that we can provide a little motivation for you to go out there and try it, we've had a successful day. I mean, even if it's, like I said, if it's one person, it's worth it.
Now, Guru, do you have, so I get messages fairly often anymore. First of all, from kids, right, that watch me, and they're like we have, and it's, a lot of them have been out fishing with me and stuff like that. Like my kids' baseball teams, like a lot of the kids there watch and stuff like that. And I find that like very motivational. I'm like, oh man, I'm like teaching the younger generation about what they're able to do. And then I also get people that message me. Like I had someone message me last week, and it was very touching. It was like, my son is autistic, and he really enjoys watching you every day, and he gets a lot out of it. He doesn't have to worry about being bullied by other people when he's here. He like feels that this is a place that he belongs. And I think that is a very special thing that we're able to do for some people.
It's a whole new world that you're able to bring to people, and it's a lot more powerful than people realize.
Yeah.
It's like the people that are sitting there, they may not even comment. I mean, they may not make one comment, but they're there all the time. I know, you're able to go out, and this, you can go through your analytics and look at who watches you the most.
Sure.
I went and looked through mine like a week ago. The guy that watches me the most, the most of anybody, I don't think I've ever seen him comment.
I have people like that all the time. And it's very interesting to see that. So I'll go through those analytics and I'll see that someone watched me for 8 hours. They never said a thing. They don't even follow me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do you watch someone for 8 hours and you don't hit the follow button?
Don't hit that red button.
I'm like, come on, what do I have to do in order to earn your follow? Because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to earn, right? Yeah. I'm putting myself out there. I'm using my time and energy. I'm spending that on you. I just want you to follow me back.
Let me ask you this. The TikTok Creator Fund. Do you think have you joined that yet?
I'm in that, yeah.
Do you think it probably didn't slow you down then, did it?
Mm-mm.
The reason I asked that, I've yet to join it, but the reason I didn't join it
Are you talking about their creator rewards program where you get paid for your videos? I've been in that since the second I was allowed to do it.
Okay. Brandon, Kissimmee Special, and them, I think they thought whenever they joined that, it cut their growth, like they quit pushing them.
Okay, so I think there is definitely something to that. I think that if your videos, and I don't know if I'm even allowed to talk about that. But if
Well,
your
we can
videos,
talk about it off of here. We don't have to talk about it on here.
because it could shed maybe TikTok in not such a positive light, and I know they don't like that.
Yeah, you're right.
But I don't mind talking to you about that. There is definitely something to that, though.
Well, my thought process was to keep growing my account till it gets a little bit bigger than, I want it to get bigger than it is now. We'll just put it like that, and then join it. But
yeah, I joined it right away. And the only thing that I've found is I go on some other creators that probably aren't in it, and I see some of their videos that have like 1 million views on it. And I think that at some point, if you're in that program, they're not going to push your video as well because they have to pay you for it.
Yeah.
So it makes sense as a business, right? Because at the end of the day, TikTok is a business. They are a business.
Yeah.
They are making money off of us.
And that's they've got their strategies, and that's probably one of them.
That's exactly right. And if your video, probably if they have to pay you for it and it's not doing enough for them to be able to justify paying that, they're not going to push your video.
Yeah, you're
And
exactly
that makes sense
right.
to me as a business owner. Like if things are working to make me money, why would I continue to do them? It makes, so it
There's
makes
a lot of things that I'm learning daily, and I think I'm sure y'all are learning daily too. I mean, just like I have come to the realization that if they send you a message, if you get something from them suggesting you do something, if you actually do it, it seems to help you. I mean,
absolutely.
I think they do that for a reason. We hit 100K. Let's go, Southern guy.
100K, baby. Let's go. We got 1 million yesterday.
That's what I heard. 1 million.
1.1. That's crazy, right?
The most I've ever got, I think, is 300 or 400K.
That's pretty damn impressive, too. It only took me like 16 hours to get to that.
Yeah. But still, you still made it. You know what I'm saying?
We made it. Oh, yeah.
Andrew's in here. What's up, buddy?
I know who I am going to draft. I'll be ding dong. Andrew, you don't know your draft position. Don't tell anyone. They'll snake your guy.
Andrew don't think the Braves have a chance this year either. They got a chance, Andrew. They got a chance.
Holly is being toxic. I'm pretty sure she's talking about you, Guru.
Your face is tappable. Tappable face. I know some other things that are tappable.
Don't do it.
Face.
Don't do it. She's toxic. Gronk first round, no matter what. Hell yeah. Bait.
Oh.
I'm drafting bait.
Y'all are Cleveland Browns fans?
I'm a Browns fan.
Y'all, who's the quarterback this year? Is it still
Baker Mayfield?
No,
No, that's the Bucks. I'm sorry. It is what's his face?
Jameis Winston.
Is it Jameis? Famous Jameis?
Okay, he's from my area.
He's terrible.
Yeah, he's from like 20 minutes from.
Deshaun Watson is our starter. I assume he's going to play like half a game and then get hurt again. I don't think he's getting the massages the way he used to.
Yeah, he's cut that out.
Was probably helping him. I doubt that he cut it out. He just does it a little bit more on the DL now.
The Browns, their history is just something else. Have they ever won the Super Bowl?
No, I think they were the most winning team pre-Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So they won the most championships before there was a Super Bowl.
There was a Super Bowl.
Right. And now that there's a Super Bowl, they've never won. They've had terrible ownership, though. That's really been the problem with the Browns all these years. I mean, their owners sold. They moved to Baltimore. We were in a lot of good games. I mean, they're a very historic team. I was born there. That's why I was basically born into being a Browns fan. And they've always been my team. I'm also a Buccaneers fan. Like, I support the hometown team. Yeah. And luckily, we've gotten a few Super Bowls here in Tampa Bay, so that's kind of carried me. But
having Brady there for a while was a giant deal.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was a Falcons fan whenever Brady stole the Super Bowl from them, which
Oh my God. Brady didn't steal it. The Falcons choked.
The Falcons choked. That's what
I'm like, this game is done. And then
the coach from the Falcons choked. I mean, he called some plays there at the end. If he would have just ran the ball, that's all it would have taken. And I don't know what he was thinking.
Why didn't they just run the damn ball? That's what I was saying the whole time. I'm like, what are you doing? Run the
this
football.
Is like the biggest game of the year, and you're going to do something crazy? What are you thinking?
Yeah, unbelievable. Unbelievable. I can't believe. I mean, that almost makes you want to think that it was rigged to start with.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
Julio Jones had made like an unbelievable catch, and I mean, it was like, I just thought, oh, Falcons are finally going to win one. No.
They had a good running game, too. I don't understand why they couldn't just...
Yeah. And at the time, at the end, I don't even know that they necessarily had to get a first down. It was more about wasting clock.
I know.
But they blew that game. But
yeah, we have our draft tonight. I'm excited for that.
Oh, is that the night?
Yeah, that's tonight at 7:30 tonight. So we have this. So we have two leagues. One is Heather's league. One is mine. I have Lidster and Andrew and who else do I have? Sports Dad. So I got all the guys over there, and we're gonna kill them. I mean, unalive them.
Yeah, that's right. Gonna take them down, no mercy.
Well, so it's two
Zero
leagues.
mercy.
So at the end of it, I have Elliot too, my 14-year-old. So at the end of it, the championship game at the end, whoever has the championship game has the most points wins a trophy, either Heather or I, whichever league wins.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're taking her down. She doesn't have a chance.
We don't talk about Super Bowls in Minnesota. Rush, y'all got some rough Super Bowl history in Minnesota.
Yeah, we don't talk about Super Bowls in Ohio either because we've never had one. Just saying.
Lister says Team Heather is a wrap. That's what
it's over. It's over. We don't play fair, that's for sure.
It's fun to do that. I need to try it again. I may get in next time on one of them.
I mean, you can be a Detroit fan and a Browns fan or whatever and feel bad about your team. Just be very glad that you're not a Buffalo Bills fan.
Yeah, a Bills fan.
We cheat. That's right.
McCaffrey is the man, Pipeline. I'll give you that. He is the man.
Andrew, wide right, baby, wide right. I mean, I just, as a kid, watched the Bills get beat in the Super Bowl over and over again. I'm like, oh my God, I can't. What is happening? What is happening with this team? Missing field goals. What if you're a Texans fan? If you're a Texans fan, your year's looking pretty damn good. I think the Texans are going to be deep in the playoffs this year.
Melanie
Purdy, I think they got a good shot over there in San Fran as well. They got a good team. Yeah, 4 years in a row.
There's a lot of new quarterbacks, that have chances to show out this year. You still got Mahomes, and then you still got some of them guys, but there's some new ones that I think are going to show up.
Right.
I could not believe that they named Bo Nix the starter of the Broncos. He used to play at Auburn, which I'm an Auburn fan, and when he was at Auburn, he was terrible. Which it could have been his coach. It could have been his coaching. Who knows?
Tiki, I would definitely not take the Mahomes era for granted. He is a special quarterback. You guys have a great team over there. And I think that combination of that coach, Coach Reed, right? Andy Reid, that coach and that quarterback together running a team, it just works out. It's like Belichick and Brady. If you don't have the right quarterback and the right coach together, it doesn't matter how good either of them are alone. It's a team sport. right? It's like the Cowboys, Big Papa. Everybody is at
The Cowboys.
I feel like everybody on that Cowboys team is there for themselves. It's not a team. They have enough pieces there every year.
Always America's team with the Cowboys. They've got, that's what my father-in-law used to call them. It's America's team, America's team. But it seems like they choke every year.
Yeah, they're choke artists. That's because they're in it for themselves, right? If you don't buy in, if you're not in it for the guy standing next to you, you're not going to win. It's that simple, because the next team that you play is, right? That offensive lineman is in it for his running back, and he's in it for his quarterback. He's not in it for himself.
Jerry Jones is definitely kind of a strange individual.
Well, there's no doubt about that.
He's holding out. Like right now, they're holding out on that wide receiver, or I don't know if they ever come to an agreement or not, but that dude's like the best player on their team, and it's like, I mean, stuff like that probably hurts your team chemistry.
Absolutely, it does.
The owner can
CD Lamb.
Really make a difference.
Oh, he signed yesterday.
He signed yesterday. Yeah. I mean, he was signing with the Cowboys. It's like, go ahead and the man's worth it, and you know you're going to end up paying him, so go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I mean,
anybody, too, that's never been here, I'm just going to show them. This is kind of where we run everything, y'all.
Sportstaff.
Well, where we run the show from this house.
Sure.
This is the bass boat. We got the John boat. We will take it out and do a little catfishing from time to time. And then
you got all the toys. You're living my best life over there, Guru.
That's the pontoon boat. This where the whole show is done. That's the catfish boat.
Oh my God, my kid! I would never see my kids again. They'd be in that John boat and gone forever.
I've got videos of mine in that John boat. I've got a couple of them posted on TikTok where they're out there fishing, and they used to GoPro themselves every now and then.
Sure.
And they had the GoPro out there, and they argue like crazy. Well, they get in a fight, and it's like hilarious. They forget the camera's there. They have no clue. They just, and also, you think your kids, they don't say bad words around you. They get out there by themselves fishing, and all of a sudden it's, my little one would say a cuss word just to say it, and it didn't even make sense. I'm like, if you're gonna use a curse word, you gotta at least learn to make it make sense. You gotta learn to use them.
Well, they're just testing them out.
Yeah, that's right.
If you don't use them, you don't know when to use them.
But
it's that whole sticking your toe over the line. You got
they're at that age. I don't know. Do y'all fight a lot?
Oh my God.
Mine are
I mean, they're around the same age. All they do is fight. They want to just fight. They love each other, right?
Yeah, mine love each other.
You don't want to fight them. You don't want to mess with one of them.
And the older one he's at that age where he's into girls, so it's like
same. It's the same thing.
Leave me alone, and the little one's always wanting to be in there messing with him. And
it's the same thing. And then my older son knows they both know what to say to the other one to push their buttons.
Just to make them mad.
They'll do that. And they'll sit there. We'll be watching a movie or something. And, and I don't even hear them say it, but my older son will just start saying something over and over and messing with them. And then next thing you know, they're fighting.
That's how. And my little one, he just throws haymakers. Like
mine too. Oh yeah.
The older one's pretty much calm. I guess he understands what's coming. Yeah. But the little one, if he makes him mad, all of a sudden he'll just start swinging.
It's that little brother thing. They will just start swinging. I know. Ours does the same thing. He's got that like inner rage in him. Right, once he gets to a certain point, it's over. It's coming out.
ATX Lure Company that's in the chat right there. I'm going to throw a shameless plug.
Yeah, do it.
My boy right there. The baits y'all see me using every day, he's the man that makes them. Usually you can click on my profile, but right now I'm not live, and it'll take you straight to them. There's also videos. You can go to probably straight to Kyle's page and get. Not only does he make these plastics, but we have all sorts of hooks that you can buy. I can't say the word. TikTok don't like it. Rhymes with gig. But you can buy hooks like that. You can buy these muddy water kits. You can buy the Clearwater kits. You can buy packs like this that are individual. They come in packs of 14. All that type of stuff. Kyle is the man. He has supported me for several months with the crappie fishing stuff, and he's a really, really good dude. He's trying to grow his channel on here. He's the one that said making 2 videos every day is very hard. When we were talking about that,
it is. It's a pain.
It is. You got to think about the content required, and then plus having the time to make them, because even a simple video, sometimes the simplest video takes an hour to make. It's like, and it may only last 15 seconds. And I've also made videos that took 1 minute to make that did awesome. So it's like, you don't ever know.
I mean, some of my best videos, like I said, are just me talking to the camera real quick before I go out fishing, and then I post them before I go live. And
I've noticed that too, and I actually had people tell me that if you'll post a video right before you go live,
that's the way to do it.
Push it. And I don't know if it's them pushing it or if it's the people coming through your live.
Well, that's what it is. It's the people that come through and then they click on you and they're like, "Oh, let's go look at this first video."
Yeah, let's go check out the video.
Yeah, I think it pushes a lot of your video.
What Rode just said to y'all is something that all of y'all, if y'all want to help me out, if you want to help Steve out, if you go watch the video, please repost it.
It's not really the entire video as well. Watching the entire video really makes a difference. If you just go on the video and watch it for 2 seconds, that actually hurts more than not watching it. So the longer somebody watches your video, the more likely they are. So what TikTok's trying to do is they are trying to get people to stay on their platform, right? And the longer that you watch on a video, the more they see that that's keeping you on their platform, and the more they push that video out. So if you go on somebody's video and you really want to help them out, watch the whole video. Share it with your friends. Watch the damn video twice. Comment on it.
And I've always been told that if you do comment at least 3 words.
Right.
Don't just put emojis. I don't know why. I don't know if it's true or not, but
it is. Yeah.
I've got to where I put 3 words. I always tell them, I don't care what you put. You can put crappie guru sucks on there, and I'm okay with it.
I've been doing that as well lately. I heard that somewhere, maybe even from you. I don't remember where, but I think that makes a difference as well. And rolling the chat, keeping the chat rolling. And I think that's what happens when something like when we're shark fishing, right? Or like you were saying about Chunky, like all of a sudden he's got a fish on and they're fighting the fish and the chat's just rolling and everybody, all the things are happening together to really push that algorithm. And it really does push it immediately.
It does. And everything.
It's amazing how that works.
What's up, Crappie Adventures? Let's go, brother. What's up, my man?
Bullfrog in the house. What's up, homie?
But
okay, well, cool. Man, we've been going at it for 2.5 hours. It just went right by, brother.
No, Heather said she was going to try to start. Heather, are you going to try to post these on YouTube? Is that what you're thinking?
That's where they will be. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Heather, will you comment again real quick?
Sure.
That's
Heather is running an agency. We have the Real Deal Agency now. She is going to comment right now if anybody is interested in just asking questions or are interested in an agency. We're here every day. It's not that is her right there, Real Deal Heather. Click on that. You can go there and apply for the agency. We can walk you through how to do that if need be. It's not somebody you don't know. It's not someone in China. It's not some random person that messaged you on TikTok. It is an actual person. We are a real small business. We have real employees. I'll show you guys real quick. Here's our office. We got Jen over there working. We got Heather working. It's a real thing. It's not something fake. It's not something that you don't know about. You don't know the people. If you're interested in joining an agency, go click on Heather's profile. You can do it right there.
And honestly, guys, Steve and Heather and myself, we don't know everything, but we have been on here for a little bit, doing this a lot. I feel like we have learned a good bit about a lot of the little things that helps. So if you have questions, definitely reach out and ask. Like I said, Heather's great behind the scenes. And I am going to go on there and I'm going to fill out the thing and I'm going to try to join the Real Deal Agency. Whether or not they accept me, I don't know. But I'm
That's going to
telling
be
you
up
right
to
now, I'm
TikTok,
going to
brother, because
try.
we would love to have you, but that's going to be up to whether TikTok allows you to join an agency because you're such a big creator already.
It'll be totally up to them.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I mean,
Cool.
if he gets denied, maybe he could be an agent and help us with it anyway.
Oh, true.
You know what I mean?
True. That's another way you could do it.
Because they sent me a message wanting me to start my own agency, but I was like, that's what I told her. I was like, I don't have any, I'm fishing. So
Right.
it's kind of hard for me to put my
You really
time.
have to have someone behind the scenes running that.
Yeah.
As a standalone creator such as yourself, it doesn't make sense to do it unless you can hire someone to do it for you. Because ultimately, if you are a big creator on here, you have to put a lot of time into live streaming. So that takes up a lot of time. And if you're putting that much time into that, you aren't going to be able to put that time into running another business.
That's video time, that's creator time, that's going live time, which I know everybody loves. That's what everybody loves the most.
Yep.
And it takes away from it. So having Heather behind the scenes and Heather's sister to help with it, I see it being a great thing in the future if they accept me. But who knows? We'll have to see what they do.
We'll find out. Sometimes TikTok's weird.
We'll take it.
Yeah, we'll figure something out though.
We'll ask.
You are one of the guys I wanted to talk to about it. I want my fishing buddies to be in it.
Yeah, it would be great if we could figure out some of the stuff too, where all the fishermen are in there, and it'd be cool if you could figure out we could set up some type of battles between fishermen. But
Yeah.
it's hard. That's the weird thing for me battling. It's like I always end up can't find anybody that I know, and it's a random person from wherever, and
It's sketchy.
it is a little weird.
It is. It gets weird.
And then sometimes it's like, are these people trying to steal my information, or are they actually wanting to battle? What?
But that's the thing with the agency thing. Like so many of them, like when you click on their deal, it doesn't look like a real person. It's not like a real person. And I can't get past that part of it.
Me either. I'm out on that. If I can't verify who you are and figure it all out.
Yeah. And they all send you like the same generic message, like join our agency, we'll send you a lion and we'll do all this and that. And I'm like, I don't even know. Like, you guys cannot be a real
I feel like those are the ones that are fake. They send that all the time. They're like, oh, we'll send you a giant gift if you join. I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not.
Well, there's one thing in life that has always been a good way for me to live my life, and it is if something seems to be too good to be true, it is too good to be true.
Yeah, that's a fact. That is a fact. I'm not a robot, right?
I am
What's
not.
up, Kayla?
Ding dong. Okay, Guru. It was very nice talking to you. 2.5 hour live stream. We are going to upload it on TikTok. Kayla, we just uploaded yours. I believe Heather uploaded it this morning from last week. So it does take a little bit of editing and that sort of deal to make this a possibility. And we will be over on the YT. That's where it'll be posted. We are going to be doing this every week. Crappie Guru, you're our second one. I do appreciate you. It was so nice.
Kayla just came through. She was number one.
She was number one, yeah. Actually, Captain DJ was number one. We did it like a few months ago, but we finally set up like a kind of a scheduled thing where we're going to try to do it on Wednesdays and make it a weekly event. And I think that I think it'll be good.
Great for getting some of the fish talk people together.
Yeah, and then everybody gets to, like, the people that I go watch every day and get to talk to and get to do those sort of deals. like everybody else gets to see them as well and talk to them and see what they're about.
And when I mention you, they know who you are. And when you mention me, something more of the people know who I am.
They all knew. I got my crappie guru hat on every day.
That's right. We rock and roll. We rock and roll the hats.
Heck yeah. All right, brother Corey. Very nice to talk to you. You have a great day, buddy. I hope you get some fishing in. You're out there on the river already. Go get them. If you're live later, I'll see you.
Yeah, we'll see you around, my friend. Thank y'all so much for having me.
Yes, sir.
And I'll fill out that thing just to see what happens, and we'll go from there.
Cool. Awesome. Awesome, Corey. See you, brother.
All right, buddy.
Everybody have a good day.